Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals Podcast, episode 68. Tonight, we are going over the Indie World Showcase. We're talking a new Pokemon Legends Arceus trailer, 5 new games being added to Sega Genesis Online, and the end of Nintendo Minute. That and more. Well, hello this fine wintry evening, or morning, or afternoon, whenever you like to listen to your podcasts. My name is Andros, and I am one half of the Nintendo Pals. The other half is Micah.
Yep.
And we do this weekly show here where we talk Nintendo news, community-submitted questions, rumors, and all things Nintendo. And we tonight are joined by 2 amazing community members and super special guests. We have K9Cantina.
Hey, how's it going?
Going great, aka Jesse.
Either or.
Yeah, but I can't not call him K9. I don't know. It's too much fort together. Yeah, we're joined by K9, and we are also joined by the legendary Discord community member, SoloSomething. What's up? AKA Eston. Well, welcome.
Thank you. I don't know about the legendary, but yeah, thank you.
Oh, definitely. Oh, whoa. No, definitely legendary.
No,
that is not even remotely sarcastic. That is 100% true. Solo's awesome. If you're a part of the Nintendo Pals Discord or like any Discord with Solo in it, then you know who Solo is. I mean, yeah, you know.
Appreciate that.
Well, so we've been meaning to have an episode with you guys for a while. We've been planning this one for a bit. I had a mix up with schedules. I even completely mixed up what time of the month it was and thought we were meeting with you guys last week. That was wrong.
Yeah, you posted. I was like, gotta drop what I'm doing. Hurry up to the computer.
It was funny because I was running off Fortnite with your wife, and we were in squad. She's like, "Oh, you're gonna be on the show next weekend," and I was like, No." She said, "Well, he just said you are," and I'm like, "Oh, you were tapping him on the shoulder."
Oh yeah, that was my bad. My bad. Well, I guess we usually start the show talking. How the heck are y'all doing, Micah? What's new with you? How is life?
Pretty good. Not too much different. Just some people in town visiting. So that's always nice. Nice.
Are you referring to our good mutual friend, Kyle?
That I am.
Nice. Yeah, Kyle, Mike, and I were all roommates. We put air quotes on roommates in college. Went to the community college local while basically all living at Micah's house. It was a good time. Good time. We played a lot of games in that time.
A lot of Smash Bros, especially.
Yes. K9, how about you? What is new? What's up with you?
Not a whole lot. Had some pretty dreary weather here lately, so getting cold. I'm in that weird jet stream that is the Midwest, where some days it's 70 degrees, 35 degrees overnight, and then the next day it'll be snowing and freezing rain. So just
have you
trying
seen
to survive
snow?
that.
Have you all gotten any snow yet?
We had a flurry the night before last, but it didn't stick because the ground was too warm still.
I gotta shout out to anybody listening to the audio version of the podcast. Don't get to see K9's K9 and Solo both have some sweet gaming stuff in their setup. Micah and I don't have anything like that. I'm using my new camera. That's new for me. So I ditched the green screen, and you can actually see my background because it's blurry. I didn't have to clean it. That's why. Yeah, I'm using a nice lens.
I was actually wondering
Worth
if that's
every penny.
real or just like a picture you put behind you to cover
no,
up the mess.
no, it's real. Look, I blur my hand as it goes back. Whoa, and forward. Yeah, you don't get it. I mean, you can picture it if you're listening to the audio version. Just picture how good my hand looks right in front of the camera. But yeah,
people might think it's improvement.
Oh, K9 has a handmade. Well, you made yourself a master sword.
Yes. Yeah, life-size master sword. I got the file for free off Thingiverse, which is kind of an open source. Just everybody throws their 3D print files on there, and bought a cheap 3D printer and printed it and painted it. I'm pretty proud of it.
It looks really good. I mean, it is kind of small in the camera, so I like, but we've seen the pictures up close. It looks very good, very very good.
Well, thank you.
I'm very jealous. And then Solo also sporting some Zelda memorabilia behind him. He's got a nice like throw blanket with the Hyrule map on it.
Yeah, I've got like unfortunately, like, the way my camera's lined up, that's about the only thing you can really see. You can't see the Xenoblade Chronicle poster I got framed, and right to my left is the Skyward Sword art that I got framed, and then down below me here is like all these amiibos sitting right here, and so it's like I rearranged the computer geeked in here, and so you really can't see a lot of stuff on camera. And but if I took the camera pan, it'd be like all would be revealed, and you see all this fandom sitting around me.
Yeah, seriously, that's how Micah's room is.
Yeah, I'm the same. I mean, I have all my Nintendo stuff up on the ceiling and stuff. So you can't see it.
Micah seriously
don't know why I put it all up there.
Micah seriously has like every Nintendo thing he has ever owned in just buckets sitting all around him in that room. Like that is not a joke. They're like just buckets of stuff.
Nice.
And the best Pokemon game ever made.
It's funny because it's like it's almost like he planned it to be like props for the show. Because when we'll be talking about something, he's like, "Oh yeah, I got that right here." Like pulls out a Wii Speak. Pokemon
Everything's
Crystal
within arm's reach.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to my Wii Speak recently.
Yeah. Man. Well, I'm glad to hear that everybody's doing well. I mean, we're coming into the holiday season, so I'm glad y'all took some time to listen to our podcast. And if you want to help support the show and give us a super awesome Christmas present, you can hop out and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, and Audible. All of those spots you can leave 5-star reviews. Both Solo and K9 have left us 5-star reviews on the different spots. Mm-hmm. And I haven't left us a 5-star review. I feel like it's a little unethical for me to 5-star myself. So I need you guys to do it for me. Thank you.
But asking your family members who don't watch the show, that's a gray area.
It is a gray area, but my family members do watch the show. I don't know who you're referring to. Thank you. Thank you, Micah. Yeah, no, we have a good time here, and we really appreciate all those 5-star reviews. We only accept 5 stars. I'm sorry. If you want to give 4 stars, we have a lot of friends that podcast. Just go back and listen to all the shows.
Throw some their way.
You can throw some 4 stars their way. I'm sure they won't mind, but we don't take 4 stars, only 5. Sorry. I'm very sorry about that. Very sorry about that.
I keep hoping that someone would do what you were talking about recently, where someone would say, like, leave 5 stars, say, "This is a great show. I probably won't listen to it again, but this is a great show, 5 stars."
Yeah, yeah. If this is your first time listening, feel free to leave a 5-star review. Yeah, I really would love to see that. I'm not going to listen again, but I left 5 stars. He was very convincing. My favorite, well, not my favorite. I love all 5-star reviews, but I did like that someone literally took our advice and just put, "Yep, this podcast is pretty good, yo." That was it. And I'm fairly certain it wasn't Micah on an alt account. It was just someone who really likes the show. Thank you for that. Well, speaking of liking the show, what if we actually start the show and let's head into the first segment of our show and let's talk the Nintendo news. Micah, I did it again for the first time in many a time. That's the wrong segment. What you playing? How did I do that?
You're
I'm
trying
all
your
frazzled.
This
Yeah.
is spiraling out of control quick.
He needs a dry erase board behind him.
Oh man! After a false start to the show, and then I like completely mix up my segments. I haven't done that in forever. How do I mix up? Whatever.
There's just so much news.
Yeah, it's true. I'm just looking at my notes, and I just skipped that section there because this section is led by each of you guys. So who wants to start? Let's start with Solo. Solo, what have you been playing lately?
It takes me a minute to gather my thoughts when someone always asks me that, because it's like sometimes I'm all over the place, and sometimes I'm like laser focused. So it all depends on like when I'm.
When I throw it to you, I better be ready.
Yeah,
question.
Yeah, hot in the seat. No, the Fortnite definitely, because like this battle pass, I'm enjoying this battle pass more than the last one. I didn't hate the last one, but I like this one more. Just let alone just some of the things they've added, some of what I call creature comforts. So I've definitely been running that one. I've been doing my Monster Hunter Rise because I want to keep my skills sharp for the expansion pass that's coming out. Monster Hunter Stories 2, I've been playing that because I'm going in there and I've been doing more of the online stuff now, where you can cash in like tickets and actually go online and play with other people. And I've been running people at a much higher level than me, and it's actually been a very good harmonious environment. They actually are very helpful for you, and they kind of take you around and let you raid chests and stuff. So it's a very good it's not a toxic environment online at all. So I've been doing that. And then trying to think, what else have I been popping in and out of? Those three games have consumed so much of.
I was gonna say, if you're fitting more than those three in, I don't know how. Those are all big games. I mean, Fortnite.
I got a fourth one I've been playing, but
quite some time.
I mean, I was joking at the start of the show. I'm like, this might take some verbal lashings from y'all, but I mean, I've actually been playing, trying to knock out some of the missions in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but that's on a PlayStation, and so
it's on PlayStation. I mean, it's not on Switch yet.
Yeah.
I mean, every other Assassin's Creed game's coming over, so,
Yeah,
it could happen. It could happen.
The Ezio stuff. So I'm like, that's awesome, because that's like, I love those three. That is like the heart. To me, people will probably spit fire at me and stuff and vinegar, but that is the heart and soul of Assassin's Creed. That trilogy. If anyone ever wanted to play Assassin's Creed, I would tell them to play that trilogy, because he's such a charismatic guy, and it's such a great story. So I'm glad to see that's coming to the Switch.
Yeah. Hopefully those rumors come to fruition. Awesome. K9, what have you been playing lately?
Well, starting off Fortnite, of course. Me and Solo have been longtime Fortnite pals now, so playing that a few times a week. And again, I'm with him on it. I like this Battle Pass a lot better. My favorite was the Primal season. I really enjoyed that one. And then since, it's just kind of been just playing here and there, not really enjoyed it as much. But this season has really redeemed itself for me personally. And then other than that, just because I knew I was going to be on the show and I am team Ocarina of Time, I've been playing
let's go.
a playthrough of Ocarina of Time. So I just finished up the Shadow Temple last night and getting ready to finish it probably tomorrow. So
awesome. Are you playing on the Switch Online?
I am.
Nice.
I managed to get my hands on one of the NSO N64 controllers as well, so I've been using it. And
Mikey, he's a better fan of Nintendo than we are.
No.
He's playing the N64 controller too.
I totally come upon that by chance. Monkey Thunder in the Discord had posted that, hey, they're back up. So I was like, oh, okay. I hopped on there. I didn't even know they were in as high demand as they were, so I just ordered it. And then all of a sudden it sold out, and they posted like, oh yeah, they're out till next year. I'm like, oh wow, I lucked out at that.
Wow, I didn't realize you picked it up on Monkey. Now Monkey Thunder is like so on top of all the deals and everything. It's so awesome. I mean, if you haven't joined our Discord, definitely do. Links to it will be in the description of the show. Always are.
For sure. There's multiple times where because I follow Wario64 on Twitter, and I'll get stuff and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And I go to post on the Discord, and Monkey Thunder always beats me. So he's definitely on it.
I don't know. He knows before Wario 64 somehow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Monkey Thunder is magic. I have gotten a couple things via Monkey Thunder, and then whatever I don't get, Solo is always there in the rear.
Mm-hmm.
I got 2 guys, so if you need one, just let me know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So between Solo and Monkey Thunder, our Discord's always covered on stuff they're looking for. Yeah.
And then I'd have to say the last one, I've been dabbling a little bit in the some of the Sega games because I never owned a Sega growing up or anything. And I've been playing Altered Beast, the one that just came out a few days ago, and it's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, all of those actually looked super good. I didn't get a chance. I should have been playing that. Instead, I was playing Fortnite before we started. I was just doing missions. While I'm like, oh, I have a few minutes. I'll go drive around in the cars. Yeah, those all look really good. They're all... Even the ones I hadn't heard of, everybody's like, oh, that's a really good one. Altered Beast, Sword of Vermilion, and Thunder Force. Like, I'd never heard of those. It's just like, I just heard nothing but positive stuff on all of them.
It's got Altered Beast definitely has a Ghost and Goblins difficulty to it at first.
Okay.
That it takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Altered Beast is one of 2 Sega games I actually played when the Sega first came out. And I got to borrow the Sega Genesis. I never owned one. I got to borrow one. And like I say, I got to play Sonic and Altered Beast. And those are my only 2 Sega games I ever got to play.
What an interesting matchup. I mean, like, Sonic makes sense. But Altered Beast, I don't think is like... I mean, that's not like the go-to Sega game.
Yeah. And that was by half a chance. That's just because my friend I had at the time, he was like, hey, man, you want to borrow my Sega Genesis to take a break from Nintendo? And let me borrow your Nintendo. And I was like, all right, sure. So we traded consoles. And we traded consoles for 2 weeks. That was the deal. And so I had Sega for Genesis for 2 weeks. He had the Nintendo for 2 weeks. And then we traded back. And so in the trade, he got my games. I got his games. And everything came back in mint condition, vice versa. And so he only had 2 games. And so those are 2 he had. So that's how I ended up playing just Sonic and Altered Beast.
Dude, that's cool. That's super cool. Yeah, I didn't have friends like that. All my friends were Nintendo friends. Or I didn't have friends. At least in that stage of my life, didn't have friends.
I had the Sega Genesis back in the day.
I know if we had been friends in like
I haven't heard
school.
of any of these games, to be honest. A couple days ago. I was too busy playing NBA Hang Time. The best basketball game ever made.
It is pretty good. Yeah. NBA Hang Time.
I never played any basketball games. As far as sports games, the only ones I've ever played have been the Madden, like the football. That's the only sport.
I was like, Madden has a basketball game? It took a second for me.
Can't forget about Shaq Fu on the Super Nintendo.
There you go. Oso in chat says, or NFL Blitz on the N64.
That is the greatest sports game ever made.
That's a good
NFL
one.
Blitz 2000.
Yeah, I think I mean I wish that we had some more wacky sports games like that. I mean besides Mario sports games, you don't see these like over the top Shaq Fu. I mean even the NBA Hang Time was just so goofy. I mean nothing.
You like throw it up an alley oop and they do like a quadruple backflip and dunk it.
Yeah, it was
laws of physics.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else you want to highlight you've been playing? I do got to ask on your Ocarina of Time play. Are you noticing any of the glitches people are pointing out online? I know Ocarina of Time got a lot of flack when that first launched.
Honestly, because I think they put out a patch already, haven't they, for some of them?
I don't know.
So
I haven't.
I'm not sure on it. I personally have not noticed. The one thing I will say in regards to the N64 controller that comes with it is it's a lot. There's some input lag on it, and it's a lot harder to do fine controls. So it takes a little bit of getting used to. But other than that, I'm still doing some of the speed running glitches. Like I got the double defense early, the hover boots early. I'm able to bomb hover and all that with no problem. So
there you go. See, Micah, that's what Micah was like. Oh, that doesn't count because you're doing speedrunning stuff. That makes it more fun.
Well, I just find it interesting that you enjoy trying to play the game as little as possible, essentially. You just want to beat it and be done with it. And then you're like, this game's so good.
It's a fun one.
I managed to stop playing after 10 minutes.
It's a fun one to try out all those glitches in because it's so well documented. Like, you can go and just look up tutorials on everything. Like you said, getting the hover boots early, leaving the forest early. I mean, that turned out to be... I posted a video of that on TikTok of me executing a glitch where I do the Navi swim, like sink down and swim out. And someone was like, I could never do that. And I was like, no, actually, I did that first try. It's really easy. You don't actually have to be that good at glitches. Not like some of the things in there where it's like, yeah, backflip, drop these bugs, pick them back up, backflip this specific distance, frame perfect input, and it should work sometimes. And I'm like, no, those are not the kind of glitches I like to do. I like ones that have some, like, hope of being able to actually hit.
I've actually never done a glitch in a Nintendo game. I've never tried to do a glitch. I've done glitches in games, but the only glitches I've done in games have actually been, and K9 and I were talking about this one night, and he like amazed me. He still remembers the code. The one, I guess you won't call it a glitch, it's a cheat code, but I was like, no way, dude. And one was Elder Scrolls Oblivion. You could glitch it out, and you could reproduce the armor that would give you what they call the Predator suit, where you could be completely invisible, so you can go throughout the town and just steal anything, and the guards would never see you because you had the invisibility armor and the invisibility ring. And then the other one was Grand Theft Auto Vice City, where you could just drop anything. And I think if you said the code right, was the one to drop a tank. And and he rattled it off, and I was like, my God, you still remember that code?
I played so much of that back in the day. There was 3 different weapons codes, and I can still remember all 3 of them. I put them in so many times.
I didn't do a whole lot of cheat codes or anything like that. In fact, there were games I had Konami games, but I didn't know about the Konami code as a kid, man. Nobody told me about the wonders of Konami games. So like Gradius 3, I went back to play and looked up all these codes. And was like, you can have infinite lives. You can start fully powered up. What? What? And it's a good time. It's fun.
Well, that was back when we didn't have Google. We had to rely on Nintendo Power and friends and everything else.
Yeah, playground chatter. Yeah, like, hey, you guys hear that if you climb under the bus, you can catch a Mew? Like
kids these days, they don't know what it's like to walk uphill both ways in the snow.
Yeah, exactly.
I was so stoked. I actually beat Contra, and then after I beat Contra, I like that later in life, I should say, I was stoked to beat Contra, and without the cheat code for 50 lives. And then I learned later that you could get this cheat code for 50 lives, and I was like, God, that's insane. And then I remember going on a beach trip with my family, and we were like, I was swimming in the ocean, and talking to some other kid, and he like told me, just by happen chance, we got talking about Nintendo, and he was like, oh yeah, no, this is how you beat the machine gun guy at the end of Double Dragon. And off how he told me how to do it, I went home. Immediately time I got home, I said, I'm playing Nintendo. My parents were like, yeah, that's fine. And I like went and I finally beat that guy off how the kid told me. And I was like, oh, this is like, looking back now, I'm like, that was the internet back at those days.
The internet was just
some kid in the ocean.
A literal net, a literal ocean net.
Yeah.
That is hilarious, man. Micah, you want to highlight anything? What have you been playing lately?
Some similar games. Been playing some Fortnite. Enjoying this.
We're
season.
all in. We're all in on this season. I mean, K9 Solo, you guys kept playing pretty steadily for the last ones. Even though K9, you said you weren't as into it. You still got to level 100 for the last couple, right? Or
that's one thing I like. I'm a recent, I think 4 seasons ago, solos when I first got into it with you, and I've maxed out the battle pass. We both have every season since. So
yeah, I did not the last couple seasons, but
it's been about 2 or 3 since I've hit 100.
But I think Micah and I will both be hitting 100 this time. We're back in. Yeah. You can explain. I totally took over.
Everyone's all hyped up for Spider-Man. So I have people to play with again, essentially.
I am hyped up for Spider-Man. In more ways than one. I saw the movie yesterday. You just got back from the movie too, right, Essen?
Oh, no, actually, I was going to try and make that maneuver, and I was going to get my son to do a surprise. But then, the missus caught wind of it, and she's like, "Well, I don't want to be left out of the fun." And so I hit a wall on that.
Why didn't you just take her with you? She wasn't there. She wasn't available. Yeah.
Yeah, it worked. Yeah.
Bummer.
Just show up at work and pick her up.
Yeah, you're calling in sick. Let's go. Let's go watch some Spider-Man. Yeah. Oh man. I'm not gonna say anything about it. But I watched it. I watched it. All right, Micah. Yeah. Sorry to totally derail your segment of what you're playing. I'll just.
Well, I haven't played too many games. Besides that, I played some more Rocket League. I usually play that like once or twice a week. Then played a little bit of Pokemon Unite. There's a new Pokemon, Serena. I'm not quite sure if that's how it's pronounced, but it just seems like a regular human name spelled really weird. So who knows? I've never seen this Pokemon before.
I'm glad you are keeping up on it, because you come every time there is a new character. You're like, yeah, they added a new character to Pokemon Unite. I'm like, I had no idea. I don't follow the news on that at all. Yeah, Micah's Poke-Minute. He's kindred spirits with our friend Jesse over on Pokemon, from the Nintendo Dads, who does his Poke-Minute for Pokemon Go. Micah is the Pokemon Unite version of that. The Poke Unite Minute.
Except probably not as interesting.
I'd say it's about the same level of interesting. You can take that how you want.
Wow, throwing some shade right now.
I could be complimenting you. You have no idea. You have no idea.
Unite. I like playing Unite. It's still on my Switch, and I jump in and out periodically, and I enjoy it. It's a fun little game.
Yeah, you have like a once a week standing deal with a friend to play, and I usually probably play once or twice for a little bit. Besides that, a week. But yeah, I kind of hate the new Pokemon because they're really good, and everyone wants to play them. So it's in like every match. I'm just like, please let it stop.
Needs a nerf.
Yeah, but I guess besides that, I did play a little more Jump King. I had to show Kyle the suffering.
Did you make it to the smoking hot babe at the top? Is there a smoking hot babe at the top?
I did make it pretty high to areas I had never been. Unfortunately, I did it on a guest account because I didn't want him to fall from my original account, and then I just kept playing afterwards.
Oh, no.
So that was kind of a bummer, but yeah, I don't know how you're supposed to get the achievement to beat that game in less than 15 minutes. It seems so long. I keep assuming I'm like right next to the end, and it just keeps going. I don't know how anyone beats it within 15 minutes.
Yeah, I don't either.
That game is still kind of the worst. So I don't know if I can recommend that to anyone.
I recommended it to Micah, so
yeah.
I like it. I think it's fun. It is.
Still haven't really forgiven you for that.
Yeah, it is very unforgiving as a game. That's for sure.
How far have you made it?
I haven't made much progress since like we last played. So right above the oh, so it says you only recommend it to people you hate. Yeah, exactly. I hate Micah. That's exactly what it's all about. It's right after the Bargain Town. Bargainburg. Whatever the area is right after that. I made it to the beginning of. And then fell all the way back to the sewer. So, yeah. You have a nice, nasty fall like that, and then you're like, I'm done for a while. I think I'll take a break.
The best is when you hop on, you've been playing for like an hour and a half, and you end up lower than when you started.
This game sounds punishing.
It is punishing. Yeah.
Excuse me while I go break something.
Yeah.
Our video for that should be going up here shortly. It's done. Micah just needs to finish the thumbnail.
I thought you were going to make the thumbnail.
I'm not making a thumbnail for the video you
decided.
No. But where we race in that game, we had a lot of fun doing that. We had some intense moments, close calls. Actually, Micah just crushed me most, like 90% of the game.
I guess slightly a spoiler. I did make one of them kind of close.
Yeah, he made it exciting. He says it was on purpose. I don't know about that.
Oh, for sure.
So for me, I've also been playing Fortnite. I guess none of y'all mentioned it is a new chapter, and so it's kind of a reset on the weapons and stuff, and it's kind of back to the basics. Kind of almost feels like Chapter 1 Fortnite, which was like two years plus ago. And I'm really liking this season, and I'm definitely a fan of the battle pass. I want to get Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man has alt colors for reaching higher levels, and you have to get 200 to get the gold and black suit Spider-Man, and I want that. So
Watch.
Me too.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
So I
don't think I've ever hit level 200.
I don't think I have either. So I'm working extra hard this season to play enough to hit that. And then I gotta pull it out. I can't ever remember what I've played. This is my curse.
Hey, that's what I was talking about when you were talking. When you asked me, it's like I play all this stuff, but when someone like looks right at me and say, "What are you playing?" I'm like,
Oh yeah.
Games?
Not on this. I've been playing Wind Waker HD on the Wii U, and I'm liking it a lot. It's a very good Zelda game. I'm about to hit a point where it's gonna not be very fun. And that's finding the Triforce pieces. That's my next task and last thing I have to do before I confront Ganon. Oh.
Back in my day, there were like 97 Triforce pieces you had to get.
Yeah, and this one there's not as many, and they like shortcut some of them. I learned that in the GameCube version, you would do all this stuff, open the chest, and it would give you a chart that you would have to go find the Triforce with. But in the HD version, I think about half of those have just the Triforces in the chest instead. So
I think it's pretty. I mean,
that's a good idea. Let's not make this game suck. Yeah, let's make it good.
I feel like it wouldn't it be so bad if the game wasn't already interesting enough that I had explored the entire ocean. So I've already been to like all these places before, and now I just have to go back there to get the Triforce pieces and whatnot.
It's going to be bad for me because I wasn't going to all the ocean spots. I was just trying to go straight forward. I'm streaming it. This might be part of the problem. I'm streaming it, so I don't want to spend a whole lot of time wandering. I want to get to the next story beat because I feel like that's more fun to watch. And in addition to that, I was skipping getting all the maps from the fish, which was a
rookie mistake.
Yeah. Oh, I was given a stern, not a stern, but I was given a warning by Blondie in chat. Blondie was like, "You should be collecting all those maps," and I was like, "Yeah." And then I was like, "Yeah, but I definitely should have been." But we'll see. I am hopeful I can do all the Triforce in a stream, hopefully, but probably won't. And then take on Ganon at his dungeon. Besides that, I don't know if I highlighted this last time, but I played a little bit of Mario Golf, and I got the alt costume for Mario, which is just his regular Mario outfit unlocked. And I got to keep an eye out on those because I want the Waluigi one. Gotta have Waluigi in the regular Waluigi suit. Yeah, for sure.
What if instead of his regular suit, they just give him a swimsuit? Would that be preferable?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, preferred for sure. Yeah, I want swimsuit Waluigi. Yeah, I'd play swimsuit Waluigi. And then I touched a little bit more into Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. I am loving it. I think it's super fun. The problem is I'm streaming that and Wind Waker, and I only have time to do like one per week. And so I'm like kind of putting priority for Wind Waker. Once that's done, I'll probably put priority to Pokemon. But it depends. Will Majora's Mask be out? Then I have to put priority to that. I'm a Zelda streamer now, Micah. That's like what I stream mostly. Super fun. Having a good time with all those. Well, that's what we've been playing. We're all in on Fortnite. Fortnite is not just for kids. We're not.
At least
we're all grown-ups.
Semi-adults.
Yeah, semi-adults.
Fortnite.
For semi-adults.
Technically speaking, we're adults.
Oh, that's my rant I've been on the last couple weeks. Like, hey, Fortnite's for everybody. Everybody likes Fortnite. It's not for everybody. Not everybody's into shooter games, but I'm not into. I absolutely do not like shooter games. I'm terrible at first-person shooters.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible. Always have been. When we play Halo, I'm the dead weight in those matches. Micah can attest to that. I'll be like, I'll drive the car.
I mean, I would.
So, I'll drive
I
the
wouldn't
Warthog.
say that like out loud to your face.
Oh, yeah. So, but this is I don't know what happens exactly, but you move the camera to third person, and I can play decently. I'd say I'm decent. I am not that great at Fortnite, but it's a good
time. I
time.
don't like playing first person point of view in any game. Anytime I'm in any game, it's a first person point of view. I automatically try and get into third person point of view immediately.
Like Skyrim. Skyrim, you can. Yeah, yeah. And like Skyrim, Elder Scrolls. I don't know if it's all Elder Scrolls, but you can switch it. I always play in the third person perspective.
Same.
Absolutely, because with Skyrim too, there's a lot of like that cool armor and outfits and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can't even see it if you're.
I know. I don't know why you wouldn't
want to
see that.
The gloves sometimes,
right?
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, I picked the wrong build when I played. I played it on Switch. I picked the wrong build. Magic users are a little hard to aim in third person because it's a lot of distance stuff. But it worked out. It was a good time. Alrighty. Well, let's move to the next segment of our show. Now we can talk some Nintendo news. And in today's Nintendo news, we are absolutely loaded with stuff to talk about. And I'm pumped to have both K9 and Solo here to talk with Micah and I about all this stuff. First off, let's talk. Nintendo launched a year in review page on their website. I'll have a link to that in the description of the show, but if you just go out and search Nintendo Switch Year in Review 2021, you should be able to find the website. I highly recommend taking a look. Even if you don't have a whole lot of hours on your Nintendo Switch, it's fun to see what you look back and go, oh, I played this day and all that kind of stuff. Well, moving on to the next news story here, let's talk about Pokemon Legends Arceus. There was a new trailer that showed different story elements. There's going to be rival clans, a Diamond Clan and Pearl Clan. Interesting.
Seems kind of weird.
Well, this is ancient Sinnoh, and in their dialogue boxes, they were talking about like praise Sinnoh, like Sinnoh was some sort of god or like the Force kind of thing. So even though it's not the Sinnoh region, it's the Hisui region. Hisui region is supposed to be ancient Sinnoh, I believe. And it showed that there's those rival clans and that the different caretakers of the big Pokemon creature things are aligned with certain clans. There's also the Ginkgo, I hope I'm saying this right, Ginkgo Guild of Merchants, and they are traveling guild of merchants that sell you goods. So it's looking to me like there's actually going to be quite a bit of story and lore to this game, more so than you typically see in Pokemon games, which is on par for the generation it's inspired by. I mean, Generation 4 has a little bit more of a story element to it than I'd say the previous several games in the series. Yeah, there's like world building and like this is how the island was formed. This is where Pokemon came from. This is how this town came to be called this town, kind of stuff. If you can like look at books and read things and learn about the history of the region, because that's kind of integral to the plot and what the bad guys are trying to do and reshaping the world. Yeah, it's a good one. Are any y'all interested in picking this one up?
I am. You're talking about Legends, yeah. Yeah, I am. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I like the look of it. I mean, it's definitely. I mean, I like the shield and sword, how they brought the wild area to it. Because of The only other Pokemon game I played was Pokemon Go, and I enjoyed it, but I thought it was linear. Like you can only really kind of walk this path, and I liked how I can kind of go here, go there, and I know it sounds like a lot of people are wanting more of a sandbox style to the Pokemon games.
Yep.
So the more sandbox they make it, the more I'm like on board and with it.
Yeah. K9, are you? I can't remember if you've played the Pokemon games or not yourself.
I played a lot of like Gen 1, Gen 2, and I believe somewhere around Gen 3 is where I stopped. Ruby and Sapphire, I think, were the last two I played. And kind of just got out of them. But I'm a sucker for a good story, backstory, and looking at this and the open world style of it and everything. And like you said, with something that's going to make me go out and research a backstory and actually get into it, I think it's going to be enough to pull me back in. So I'm definitely going to give this one a shot.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about that aspect as well. I know, Micah, you're planning on picking this one up.
Yeah, most likely. Unless it gets reviewed pretty poorly, I guess.
Yeah. I am seeing still some mixed reception to the overall quality of the game based off the trailers. I've seen a lot of people pointing out, like, why does this look like GameCube graphics? Why, like, how does this company that has so much money, their games not look as good as this game, or, you know, lots of compare, contrast kind of stuff. I'll save my thoughts. What are your guys' thoughts on that take? Do you guys agree? Do you think it doesn't look as good as it could? Could it look? Does it look good enough to you, or does it look good, bad? I don't know. I don't want to like plant ideas here on what you think.
Right. Just watching the trailers and everything. I mean, it does look really good. There are some parts of the trailers where it looks like their character model doesn't necessarily match the same art style as the background. So it's almost like they just took a character model, copied and pasted it on like another background that was already made somewhere. So there is a little like differences there. But like I said, not getting out of the series for as long as I have, I think it's pretty well on par for that style.
Yeah. Okay. Micah, how about you? I know you've got opinions, potentially.
I mean, I think it looks fine. I mean, it looks good to me. I don't necessarily care too much about how it looks graphically, but it looks good to me.
Nice. Solo?
For me, it looks fine. I mean, I feel like I'm the cast here. I feel like I'm a bit of a greenhorn when it comes to Pokemon games, because I've only came on board like within the past like 2 years playing Pokemon games. So for me, I mean,
well, I was gonna say, I think on the contrary, that actually makes your opinion like very interesting, because you're someone that's only played the latest two, so yeah. I do feel like there's some baggage of nostalgia that comes with the Pokemon fandom, where they're like, why can't it be like Red? Why can't it be like Pokemon Red? That's the best one. Or Pokemon Crystal.
Pokemon Crystal is the best
Why
one.
can't we be like Pokemon Crystal? Yeah, like.
Well, then for me, I mean, when I look at it, I mean, I don't have any qualms with the graphics. I mean, because when I compare it to like the Sword and Shield, I'm like, okay, you know, it's kind of moving in that direction. I mean, I don't think it's like on the level of like Super Mario Odyssey, kind of that cleanness and sharpness. But then again, I don't feel like I'm looking at Pokemon, Pearl, where I'm like, I'm looking at like, I feel like if I was to play Pokemon Pearl right now, I would feel like, or Pokemon Diamond, I feel like I'm going retro with the graphics from what I was playing when I had Shield in my Switch. And I'm like, I don't want to go backwards. I want to go forwards.
That is how I felt exactly about Diamond Pearl's graphics. I personally was like, I don't know. I was very wishy-washy. I still don't know how I feel about it. I don't think it's bad, but
the way I look at it is, I would rather have a great story and great gameplay mechanics over the graphics.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, and I mean, like it looks good enough, despite what I said earlier. I mean, it looks good, but as long as the story's great and the mechanics are fun and easy, and it's going to be a great game.
I'm kind of in the same boat as Solo. I think he hit it like right on the head there. I don't think it looks as good as what it's trying to compete with, which would be Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey. These like more open world games, also in the Nintendo family. I just don't think it looks as good as those personally. So I get it. I get why people are complaining, but I think I fall somewhere in the middle. Not really. I don't love the graphical direction they've gone with Pokemon, but I don't think it looks like a GameCube game. You know, I think it looks like, it definitely looks better than Sword and Shield to me. You know, Sword and Shield had some weird stuff like you were talking about, where it's like the character model does not match what is around it. Like I don't know if I've shown the picture of the trees, where it's like the berry tree next to regular trees, and they look like completely different games. Like what? How did those get put there next to each other? And one of them looks like it's from the N64, and the other one looks like it's a Switch asset. It's like very weird looking to me. I see there isn't really any of that in the trailer. And then people saying, well, this is the number one money-making franchise in the world. How come it can't be the best looking in the world? I have some thoughts to throw your way. One, this is the number one media franchise in the world because it is multimedia. They do a cartoon, they do several cartoons, they do card games, they do video games, they do lots and lots of toys, and just a ton of merchandise. And so not all of the money is getting poured into game development, believe it or not. I mean, it's a lot of money regardless, but it's not all being put back into that game dev space. It's being put into all those projects.
Because not only are they in all those different industries, they're near or at the top of all those industries as well.
Yeah, so there's that, and then I had another thought, which has completely escaped me, like a Pokeball that shook twice and then burst open. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Is essentially like the money side, like they don't need. I remember now. They don't need to make this the best looking game graphically for it to sell crazy good. I mean, that's the truth. That's the reality. Like, why put all of the money and effort and energy into making this look like Breath of the Wild when they don't need to for it to sell super, super, super well?
I agree with you on that one, yeah, for sure. I feel like the same way.
I wish that they would, because it shows a little bit more care, but this is also the company that's putting out a new Pokemon game like every year, essentially. I mean, they're cutting corners for sure to save money and get the games out in a timely manner. Like that's what it's all about. So it does boil down to money. You might not like it, but I'm sorry. That's just the way it's going to be. And complaining about it, I don't think it's too big. It's not going to change it. It's like complaining about McDonald's, you know, like, oh man, I'm not gonna buy your next. I'm not gonna eat at McDonald's anymore because, yeah, I'm like, okay, like they don't care. Right. They're huge. It's not gonna affect McDonald's. That's
like a minute ago. Like if you look back at like when you were asking us, you know, you're gonna pick up Legends. If you know, reflect back at what I said a minute ago, like when I said, yeah, I'll pick it up, and all that I described as far as reason why I was going to pick it up, none of it did I say like, oh, because I think the graphics are stellar. No, I said no, because I really like the direction they're going with Sandbox, a little bit more of the wild. Yeah. So they're going to be there. So it's all play style type stuff that I'm liking. And so I'm like you. I mean, I don't expect them to like give me, you know, polished Super Mario Odyssey. I mean, I'm looking for play style and the direction they're going with the play.
Yeah, and you know, it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good game regardless. Will it be the best Pokemon game ever? That's the question. But it's gonna be a good game. Pokemon has a good formula regardless. I mean, if you played a Pokemon, you've played Pokemon. You play, you know, they're all the same. This is looking different. So Anyway, we spent more than enough time talking about Pokemon Legends, so let's move on to the next bit here, and let's talk the Indie World Showcase. Yeah, everybody get a chance to watch the Indie World Showcase. Micah woke up nice and early.
I remember very little.
Don't worry, you can go back and watch yourself react to it on our YouTube channel.
Was it as bad of a wake up as the Switch OLED announcement?
Yes. Wasn't on stream. I didn't wake him up on stream. That would have been pretty bad, though, because Micah was seriously like, I don't want to.
I was very much contemplating just hanging up and going back to bed.
He was quite adamant. I mean, he was operating on like 4 hours of sleep. I didn't know that when I called. Okay, like I'm not a jerk best friend here. But it was 9 o'clock his time, so I just kind of assumed it would be okay. Like he would be fine.
It was a little before 9 o'clock. I mean, let's be accurate.
8:50. Sorry about that. Which for Micah is like waking him up at like 1 a.m. for a regular person. That's essentially what I did. But the showcase was pretty good. Definitely worth waking up for. There were, so for me, there was a lot in it, and it all looked very good, but nothing really stands out. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think anything in there was like bad looking or was something I was completely going to write off, but it all looked high quality, but nothing really stood out because everything was so high quality, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So overall thoughts, what were you guys' thoughts on it? I mean, we'll go game by game here, and we can talk about the ones that interested us. But what were your thoughts, K9?
I agree. So the one back in February where they announced the Longing? That one, like the Longing, stood out to me. Like I said, I want to try this game. But I agree with you on this one. They all looked really good, but not one of them really just like is making me going to want to go buy it right now. The few that stick out to me, because I like that grungier art style, so the Don't Starve Together. And I think Micah, you talked about this one, didn't you?
Yeah, we both played that one on PC actually.
Okay.
Many years ago now. It's been out for a while.
It's been a while.
So that's one I'm definitely going to try. And I noticed that Nintendo actually has the single player version of that for a demo right now that you can download.
Oh, so I forgot to. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. Yeah. I saw that and forgot to put that in the news announcement. Yeah, with the Nintendo Switch Online membership, you can do a free trial of Don't Starve, the single player game. Between the two, I don't know if there's much of a difference. I think maybe the single player one has a little bit more content, but if you're going to buy one, buy Don't Starve Together because it's multiplayer and the other one is not. And like it's much more fun multiplayer. That is my opinion. But do the demo to give the game a try, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Grime really stood out to me as well. That one looks really good. Gonna be giving that one a shot. And then Dungeon Munchies. It's
let's go. Yeah.
that's just one of those weird quirky ones. It's like I got to give it a shot because it's yeah. That's all I got to say about that one. But
that's one that stood out to me as well. Don't know if I'll be picking it up, but I'll be checking it out.
You know, I've listened to a lot of podcasts. I've listened to a lot of podcasts, and a lot of them wrote that one off like hardcore. They're like, it just looks so generic. And I was like, man, that was like one of my favorite ones that they show. I don't know. Maybe I was hungry.
Yeah, definitely. The one that really seemed average to me, but has been getting a lot of love is Chicory. I've seen a lot of people posting about Chicory, so I think I'm going to give that one a shot as well.
Nice. Yeah, that one dropped same day.
Mm-hmm.
Solo, how about yourself? What games? What were your overall thoughts? Any games stand out to you?
Sure. Yeah, I'm looking at the list. For me, going through it, Grime, because I like RPGs, and Grime, just taking on face value, looking at the advertisement, it really came across as kind of I didn't read anything on it, but it really came across as kind of a dungeon crawler. So I mean, I really kind of got interested in looking into that because I love playing Torchlight, and I played all the Torchlights, and so I was like, oh wow, this kind of was like it kind of be even that same kind of zip code in a way of Torchlight. So I definitely want to
Oh,
try and
interesting.
check that out. And that when I heard, of course, me being a Xenoblade guy, when I heard the music by the same person made
Yeah.
Sea of Stars,
Xenoblade 2 music, and so it was like,
there you go, yeah, Spidey senses,
yeah.
Disturbance in the Force. So I tuned in on Sea of Stars, and
that one looks really good. I mean, it's definitely a Chrono Trigger inspired art style and gameplay. So,
and it looks like it could be a relaxing game to play too. I mean, it doesn't look like it'd be like like sitting on an edge of your seat playing a game. So I mean, it's like a button. It doesn't look like it's gonna be a button masher. That's what I'm getting at. So it looks like it'd be, you could easily get into it. And then I actually own Ollie Ollie, and so looking into Ollie Ollie World, because I would probably I might actually check that out, because like I told you, I mean, they had the one of the lines that I love the best, shred by the sea, chase a bee, meet a tree.
It's so great. And then the tree's like, thumbs up. Oh man, what a good. It looks so fun. I mean, it looks like a Cartoon Network cartoon come to life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, I have to mention Dungeon Munchies and Ollie Ollie, because I love the fact that Peely's making these guest appearances, like what's his name from oh god, who's the guy, his name escapes me, and Shovel Knight. He starts making all these guest appearances.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
Yeah. So now Peely's gonna start making all these guest.
For those that don't know, Peely is the giant banana character that you can play in Fortnite. The living banana character. Yeah, they had like a banana character in both of those games. Yeah. Oh man, that's so great.
And then the one thing, I mean, the River City Girls 2, I mean, I won't pick it up, but the music, I got to give a nod to, like, they were really playing some of that 80s synthesized keyboard pop type music in it. And
it was a vibe. Like, it captured that very well, for sure.
And so definitely, it was like they're really channeling some of that 80s music, it sounded like.
Yeah, it was like, please. All it made me do was like, when can we see more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? That's what I want. It's the same game style and same kind of vibe. Yeah.
You hit it on the head. I was that, and the music. I was like, God, I feel like I should be in the skating ring again, skating around on my skates.
Yeah.
But
it's been so long since I've done a skating rink. Man, that was that was like all the rage when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah. Micah, what were your overall thoughts?
Yeah, like kind of like we said, I think a lot of them looked pretty good, but I don't think there aren't any day one purchases for me. I'll once they come out, I might give them some time and see how they review, and if I don't have other games to play at the time, essentially I'll check them out. But I mean, I'll be keeping my eyes on some Grime, like was mentioned, looks pretty good. I enjoyed Dungeon Munchies. I really like mostly just the name of Locomotive.
That one looked good too. It did. Yeah. I liked the look, the like concept of murder mystery on a train, but it's like comedy.
I like it because of all the puns.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's so many puns this indie showcase.
Oh man,
yeah. And then the endling extinction is forever. I just thought it was interesting that you can
nope.
Not all of your
nope, not playing it.
What are those baby foxes called? Cubs?
Yeah.
Have to survive.
Yeah. So this has been universal as well. I listen to a whole bunch of Nintendo podcasts. We got like our buddies, the Nintendo Dads. You got the Nintendo Shack. You got Nintendo Voice Chat. The Nintendo Drive. Oh, a whole bunch of podcasts. Nintendo Cartridge Society. Man, I could just keep going. And all of them were like hard pass on Endlings. It looks too sad. And I am in the exact same camp. I was like, if you look at our YouTube video, there's the thumbnail. I'm making this like disgusted face, like, oh, that was from that part of the trailer when they're like, not all of them will make it. What?
Well, they could. I think it's more of a game, a story about hope, and
Definitely
restarting the
like
game the instant one of your cubs dies. What they'd really need to like drive the guilt home is just the Pikmin effect. A little ghost floats up, and then the little yell.
Oh no! Yeah, I'm glad you called that one out because that one was definitely a call. It looks great if that's the kind of game you want to play, you know. But I was like,
it's a very beautiful game.
I was like, not for me.
I guess I'd also be really tempted by Don't Starve Together if I didn't already own it on the computer. We need to play that again sometime because it's been a while since we've played and they've like added a lot, changed a lot.
It sounds like you need to.
Did they say anything about crossplay?
Not that I know of. I wondered about that because it'd be really cool if there was.
It would be. Yeah.
Since I don't think it was mentioned, there's probably not.
Yeah.
But we still have until spring, I think, until that comes out.
So, you guys all basically highlighted all the ones that I was interested in as well. Nothing else on here really spoke to me, but we'll run through them real quick. We've already talked about Sea of Stars. The big claim to fame for that one is they got the Chrono Trigger. I don't know what I was saying. I was going to say Corridor of Time. That's a song from that game, not the game itself. Chrono Trigger and Xenoblade 2 composer, whose name I don't remember. Sorry, and I couldn't pronounce it good if I did remember it anyways. But he is doing music for this game, so good vibes there. Next, they showed Alicia, the Oblivion of Twin Goddesses. This one actually looked interesting to me too. You play two-player cooperative puzzle games. One uses the touchscreen and the other uses motion controls. How that works, I don't know. That one might be a fun one to look into to play with my son or my wife. Locomotive, we were talking about. After Love EP, it looked okay. Another sad one. Nope, not for me.
Yeah, that was sad.
Dungeon Munchies. Figment 2. Creed Valley. That one had an interesting... He played the guitar. Speaking Dutch and then sang in English. It was great song. Let's Play Oink Games, followed by Endling, Extinction is Forever, Ollie Ollie World, River City Girls 2, Parkasaurus.
The Parkasaurus seemed pretty interesting.
Yeah, that one looked kind of fun.
Probably not my kind of game, but
Zoo Tycoon, but you are running Jurassic Park, like a cartoon.
And it did look like a T-Rex was busting out at some point.
Yeah,
in that
it
trailer.
did bust out. Yeah, got him somebody.
Probably the thing I got most excited for was Don't Starve Together, and I actually think I will pick this one up on Switch. I'll double dip and get it a second. I don't know if I actually have this one on Steam or if I was playing this one on someone else's computer. But great game if you like a cooperative survival game. Chicory, A Colorful Tale, which we've mentioned, people are saying is great. There was one game I didn't think looked that great. Baby Storm. I didn't think that looked that good. But it was in the sizzle reel, so it was really hard to tell like what it was.
Oh yeah, that rapid fire.
Yeah. So maybe it's better than I'm thinking. Well, I'll have to look into that one. Grime, Girder, A Flame in Winter, Time Lie, interesting looking one. Behind the Frame, The Finest Scenery. That one also looked really interesting, like an artsy game. And then Omori is what it ended with. And it was another indie showcase, which ended with Micah and me going like, what is this? And it's apparently a very well-received indie title. done by a renowned artist. And it deals with some very serious and dark themes. So if you are into that kind of thing, but it's got a very cutesy art style, almost looks kind of WarioWare like in its cartoony art style. But deals with very serious dark themes. If that's something you're interested in, do not look up spoilers for this one. I ended up just looking it up because I was like, I'm definitely not going to get this one. Listen, I don't like to play these dark games. I'm like, not for me. I want happy games. That's my if I only have time to play a limited amount, I'm going to play something that makes me feel good. Yeah, that's it. That was the Indie Showcase. Nice little 20-minute presentation. Can I just say how much I love Nintendo's format on these directs and presentations? They feel so well paced. Mm-hmm. You know, coming right off the Game Awards where we're sitting there for 3.5 hours watching, and you're like, what am I doing with my life? Where is this? Yeah, you finish and you're like,
could have been playing Fortnite.
Right.
Yeah. I was actually playing Wind Waker. That was what I was doing while I streamed it. So I'm going to probably make that a thing. Maybe I'll do that next year for the Game Awards. I just had the Game Awards going in the top corner of the stream, and I just played a game. So I was like half watching with it on mute. You can see the subtitles. Like, if something cool happens, then I can make it big and I can react to it. If nothing happens, which for that I'm excited about, which is what happened, then no loss. I get to play Wind Waker. That's the yeah, it was a good time.
But a lot of the games they advertised this year too in the Game Awards were all like dark, like horror. Like,
yeah, they had a lot of horror games.
Like,
you're right.
Rip them apart and spit on them, and yeah, I was just like, oh, what's going on? Pass out some.
Everybody,
yeah.
The producer is very angry.
Yeah.
It's the natural year that follows 2020. Everybody's very angry. So, yeah. Everybody's really angry, and they're like, let's just make angry games.
Yeah, I might go get some ice cream. I mean,
yeah, it's that. Everybody's going for that Hellblade look, which that one does look very good, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which I know they gotta make games because there's people that enjoy horror games. I'm not taking away from them that do that, but I mean, don't make the whole show it seem like about that genre. I mean, you know, like the yogurt and the fruit. Yeah, mix that up.
Yeah, let's get instead of Hellblade, we've got Heaven Pillow.
Yeah,
that's the opposite. It's instead of going through some like crazy nightmare demon world, you're going through a candy shop. That's the opposite of that. Candyman Simulator. Oh man,
isn't that a horror movie?
Like that, isn't that a horror movie? Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, even happy stuff gets ruined by horror. So I overall give this a minus rating. It was very good, but nothing stood out to me, so I can't give it the plus. You know, that's where I'm at with it. Alrighty, well, that's the Indie World Showcase. Let's move on to the next segment here. I mean, we're cruising through the news here. In the next bit, 5 new games have been added to Sega Genesis Online. We already talked on these briefly. K9's been playing Altered Beast. Next up on the list, Toe Jam and Earl. I know that's a very a cult classic. People love Toe Jam and Earl. Toe Jam and Earl came back. They have a new game on the Switch. Dynamite Heady. I only know what that one is because I listen to Retro Logic. Our buddy Dan, his podcast, he loves Dynamite Heady. It comes up all the time. So, right up there with Plock, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Sword of Vermilion and Thunder Force 2. Yeah, so they're not slow trickling Sega. You know, the N64 ones are coming in one at a time, but the Sega Genesis are coming in groups of 5.
I mean, did they even tell us before this that there were more Sega Genesis games coming?
They said there are more Sega Genesis and N64 games to come. And then only showed N64 games that were coming. They're like Paper Mario.
Because I was always like, are there even gonna be more Sega Genesis games? So it's kind of nice that they just like shadow drop a bunch.
Yeah, well, they don't have the original Sonic on there yet. I wonder if they're like waiting to release that with a big hype push.
Yeah, I feel like that's one maybe they wouldn't shadow drop.
Yeah. Maybe it will come with like an anniversary something. So I don't really have too much to talk about. I mean, it's Sega. We don't talk about that on the show, you know, like that. I'm just kidding. But I don't really have too much to say about it other than I'm glad they're doing it. Let's keep them coming. Keep making that service worthwhile. Next up, we're talking more classic games here with the Analog Pocket. Now, the hype train for this thing, I can't escape it. It's everywhere. The Analog Pocket reviews fill my feed. People saying, I got my pre-order. People looking for pre-orders. And everybody just all in for the Analog Pocket that they are not going to be getting for a minimum 6 months. Let me just tell you that. Oh, man. It looks so clean. It looks so good. You guys seen this? I'm assuming you've seen it because I can't get away from it. It's everywhere.
I've seen it. I paid no attention to it
I
until you sent us the show notes, and I was like, well, I might want to look it up just so I know I can have something to talk on. I started looking. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. I might hop on this train.
Oh no, K9, I'm sorry. So, I didn't know what I was doing. Putting it in the notes.
But it's really cool because I had back in the day, I went from the original Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. And then my dad had a house fire, and I lost all my like Pokemon Red, all the Game Boys and stuff. So this is over time. I've had some of those cartridges. I've just had no way to pay for them. And as much as the retro consoles are costing now, especially refurbished and with the IPS drop-in screens and stuff like that, it's almost worth just buying this and being able to play multiple different cartridges. Because it is the cool thing is it doesn't rely on emulation.
It does come with stuff preloaded, though, doesn't it? Am I mistaken?
I missed that if it did. I don't think so because I think that's the thing with Analog is they have
they're doing it hardware only. I know for sure it does that, but I thought maybe it came with some.
I think they're like selling packs to get with it or something.
Right. There's adapters that you can buy as well to put in, so it'll play Game Gear games and a couple others. But I think without the adapters, it'll play Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. And they also sell a dock with it too, so you can dock it and play it on the TV.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, I mean, it's essentially a retro Switch, in that because you can take it on the go and then just dock it up and play on. I mean, I thought I looked at this and was like, oh man, it's tempting. I mean, especially for like streaming, like that would be cool to stream these games in like a really nice crisp, because it actually enhances the pixel count on it, so there's less blur from what you'd see on the original hardware, which is cool. It is so cool. Everything about it's like, they have done a very good job of making it a premium product that you're like. I mean, it looks like an OLED trailer. Like all the things you see for it, it's like spinning in slow motion,
right?
and like all crisp and nice looking, you know, playing some like generic music with people playing it in spots that you're like, who would actually play that on?
Well, so when the OLED came out, the trailer for that, the guy like walks in his front door, takes it out of his bag, and just sits on like the little shoe bench, and just sits there and starts playing.
Oh man! So I do relate with that guy. That's 100% a dad. That's like, if no one knows I'm home yet, so I'm gonna be playing this before my kids find me. But I mean, in reality, where he would have really gone is the bathroom. Like, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. Sure. If you haven't played your Switch on the toilet, you haven't broken it in. That's what I mean. Like in all reality,
never truly lived.
Right.
Oh man.
Yeah, where they almost got me was by showing someone playing Golden Sun on it.
Oh yeah.
That's one like the first things I saw of it. It had like a picture of Golden Sun on it. I'm like, oh man, I suddenly want that.
So let me tell you guys, I think if this was shaped like a Game Boy Advance, I would have bought this instantaneously. I like literally I am that on the fence and that close. Also, I would have had to ask permission from my wife. but like I don't really need it. I have hardware that can play all those games. I don't have too many Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, Game Boy Advance games. I have a collection, but not a crazy huge collection. So for me, I'll just stick with my Game Boy Advance SP because it has the backlight and it can play.
That was a game changer.
It was a game changer.
Not having to go around with the little
everybody was like tilting it so you could use the sun. You could use the sun to like
bend it just right. It never wants to stay in the right spot.
Man, I remember specifically, I don't know, did we talk about this in a post-show once, Micah? I don't know. But I remember specifically, like, in the back of the car, trying to catch street lights as we go by. And to
sure
see,
we're actually just randomly playing Gloomhaven and this came up.
To see what happens next in my Pokemon battle. Like, that was what I was, like, catching those street lights as we drove by.
You're like bud mashing between the street light. That's funny.
Oh man, Game Boy was such a pain to see. I don't know. I could not do it now. I mean, my old man eyes, but I wouldn't be able to see it. We were playing on screens that were like stamps. Like that's how big. Like these are so small. Oh man. Yeah.
Now all of our eyes have gone soft. They haven't had to.
Yeah, now they have to make these
to see these tiny screens.
Now they have to make these screens so big,
and we still sit there and play like this.
Yeah.
Squinting.
Have you guys seen the attachment that makes the screen bigger? That we didn't talk about this.
With the little magnifying glass.
It's like a magnifying glass for your Switch. Yeah, and you can
for
put
the Switch. I haven't seen that one.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen one for the Switch.
Oh man. Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can find a picture of this. Switch magnifying.
I feel like at that point you should just hook it up
put
to
it
your
on
TV.
the TV.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have a huge magnifying glass,
the Nintendo Switch screen magnifier. I'm not seeing the one I was looking at specifically. But they are sold. I don't know why you would buy this. I just don't. Anyway, that's the Analog Pocket. So I don't think any of us here picked this one up, although I apparently got K9 close. Putting it in the notes.
I'm very close. If I hadn't just bought that Hylian shield, I probably would have done it.
Oh man, the Hylian shield's cooler. You won't regret that. The Analog Pocket, and here's the thing. This thing is so back-ordered that they have it coming in 3 waves. So, earliest people are getting it is early 2022. No specific dates, as far as I know. It's just early 2022. And then the next wave is late 2022. And then if you're getting your pre-orders in now, you're in wave 3. And they're not getting theirs till 2023. Why would you buy this now? Almost a year and a half?
If you wait, you'll have to wait until 2024 or 2025 to get it.
Yeah, I hope this just becomes something that you can just get. It's not. There's no.
I think they're relying a lot on the FOMO factor as well.
It's working. It's working.
Absolutely.
I've seen people that I had no idea were interested in this stuff buying an Analog Pocket. K9's like, I'm one of those people. Oh man. Well, we're moving from the Analog Pocket to the OLED. Let's talk some OLED Switch. This is a super cool story, a Christmas story, if you will. Yeah. A grandmother in Arizona. I'm mixing up all my words here. A grandmother in Arizona accidentally received 6 OLED switches from her order from Target, I believe was the store. Mm-hmm. and she tried to return them. The store was like, she had issues with returning it, and the store actually came to her and said, "You can keep them." So she only ordered one, and she got 6. And she's like, just a grandma, and so she gave one to all of her grandkids. What a cool Christmas story. Like, wow. Shout out to Target
Right.
for making some kids Christmas. Man, that's really neat. I was pretty pumped to read that story from Nintendo Life.
Yeah, now I'm tempted to just start like ordering and returning all these Nintendo Switches just in case.
Just put in that you're 64 or something. Like,
right.
like it's for my grandkids. No, that is really cool. Solo, you were pumped to see that story as well. You were talking to me about it on Discord.
Yeah, they actually ran that on our local news. I saw that too, and I was like, "Oh wow, that's pretty awesome." I didn't know where that was at. They didn't say like what Target that was at or what state that was in, but I was pretty awesome. In fact, when I saw the story, I never heard what she did. They never said in the local news she did with the Switches, because I actually told my my wife. I was like, "Oh wow!" I said, "I wondered if she kept one of them for herself to play on." Because I actually was I told my wife, I said, I was in Best Buy one time, and a guy came in there in his 70s, and he was talking to the Best Buy sales rep guy, and he's like, "I'm here to get like a Switch." And he's like, "Okay, well, what colors do you like?" and stuff like that. Or, what do you think your grandson's into? And he said, "Well, I don't know." He said, "I'm getting a Switch for me." And the guy was like, "Oh, okay. Well, and the guy said, "That changes the games, and I can recommend them."
That's funny.
Dude, that's so awesome. I hope I'm like that in my 70s. I'm coming in ordering the latest VR.
Probably the latest VR, yeah.
Yeah, like, hey, I want this the Nintendo Rift. Yeah, it's like an Oculus.
There you go.
Yeah. Man.
In case Nintendo's listening, there you go. There's an idea.
There you go. I legitimately thought they were going to, they did sell an attachment made of cardboard, but I thought there was going to be like an actual headset you could use this for. It'd be really cool. So Merry Christmas, 6 OLED Switches. Really cool. Really cool.
That is awesome. And then do that. Let her keep all of them. Yeah. They say, well, just brighten some of your family members' day.
Last little bit here of news. Nintendo Minute, which was never a minute, is actually canceled. Suddenly, today, they launched their episode. They're like, it's a special episode because it's our last episode. No reasoning was given to this. In fact, I had no idea this had happened. We have a community question about it, so we'll talk a little bit more about it. But Nintendo Minute...
Probably just changing to the Nintendo Hour.
It's a new podcast.
They got too many complaints for false advertising.
So I went on.
This isn't a minute.
I went on to the YouTube video because these are all posted on YouTube, and I was like, "Why'd you cancel it? Do you need someone to do it? We volunteer as tribute. We'll do it. We'll keep Nintendo Minute going, Micah and I." Oh man, but that show had over 400 episodes and a running of 8 years. With Kit and Krista doing Nintendo stuff. They did everything from interviewing people within the company to shopping sprees for charity, gaming events, holiday gift guides. It was just an official Nintendo YouTube channel. It's essentially like what you go to YouTube for is for these influencer type content creators that are talking about stuff, and they were the official Nintendo ones. Like that was what they were doing. I think it was part of the marketing push for the 3DS and Wii U, which was struggling, and so they threw their own money into making content like that. And sad to see it end. I'm sure Kit and Krista will continue to be active in their various communication channels, but when you do something like that long, it didn't end with much fanfare. Did any of y'all go and watch this video? I don't know.
I haven't. No, not yet.
K9, you did. Yeah, you were talking about that in pre-show.
I did. Yeah, for it, because the final episode was kind of a compilation of different highlights from the episodes over the years. And then once the final little clip was over with, they're just like, okay, that's it. Stay tuned for more stuff coming from Nintendo. Bye. And in the video.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was really like a heartfelt send off or anything. It was just, okay, that's it.
It was like, oh man, we're done. Like, man, after so long, it's just wild. I feel like if Nintendo Pals ever ended, which I don't see it ending, because we enjoy doing it. Well, instead we'll
eventually
just,
we'll die.
I mean, well, yeah, but
have, like...
at that point we'll have like replaced ourselves with AI. We'll be like virtual us, you know. Right.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll just be like, it will actually be our me's hosting podcasts.
Straight out of the metaverse.
But I feel like if we were to end it, it would be with a bang. Like we would do something crazy. We would go all out, all like, you know,
blow something up.
Yeah, like a 2-hour long episode. Because I mean, it wasn't even long. It was like shorter than most of their Nintendo Minute episodes.
Mm-hmm. This one was actually pretty close to a minute.
Yeah. Sad. Very sad. Kit, Krista, thanks for what you did with the Nintendo Minute. To be honest, I didn't watch these that often. I found them to be a little hard to watch at times. I was like, this just feels too corporate-y, because it was. I mean, that was it was the official Nintendo one. In the same way that I don't really gravitate towards the official Nintendo podcast. We were talking about that, the Nintendo Power podcast. Yeah.
Yes.
Can't mix that one up with our buddy N64 Josh. Nintendo Power Cast, Nintendo Power Podcast. He got that SEO down. Josh. We talked about him last episode too. He just keeps on coming up. We want to have them back on the show. I think we're planning on hooking up sometime next year, early next year. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. So thanks for Nintendo Minute. When are we getting the sequel? Nintendo Hour. Mike was talking about. That's what this is. Nintendo Pals is the Nintendo Hour. It's actually Nintendo 2 hours. If you're
Nintendo
watching.
Hours.
But at risk of going way over on time, we'll move on to the last news item here. We've already talked about quite a bit. Fortnite Winterfest 2021 has kicked off. If you log into the game, you get free items. You can open Christmas presents in the Winter Lodge, which eventually will lead to skins. Most of the presents are different emotes, gliders, pickaxes, all free if you log in for between now and January 6th. Mm-hmm. And you get to open a present a day.
And hang out by the fire for your free XP.
Yeah. So if you see me online on Fortnite, I'm actually not playing. I'm just sitting in front of a fire. Just letting the Yule log roast.
I can tell when you're like actually hanging out getting XP and when you're actually like playing, because if you look on y'all's names, it'll just say like in the lobby. It doesn't show how many people are left in the battle royale. I'm like, oh, they're just like gaining XP.
They're just sitting there
engaged in a match. It actually shows how many people are like actually like in the battle royale left or what have you. And I'm like, okay, they're actually playing.
So a funny story that today I hopped on and I was like, oh, my brother's playing. So I hop on and join his lobby and I was like, yo, you got the new Spider-Man skin. What's up? Silence. He's not actually in there. He was at he's definitely at the fire. He's still there. I'm pretty sure he was just sitting in the lobby all day.
Nice.
I told him about that, and he went and did that. He's going for that Spider-Man skin as well. Me and him are both going crazy for that.
Although from my experience, you don't actually get that experience right away. I think you still have to play, and you like earn that extra experience faster or something weird. It just gets added on as bonus.
What you do is you play while you're awake, and then when you sleep, that's when you sit by the fire. So while you're sleeping, you're getting that XP.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting level 200 for sure. There. Big brain strats here for Fortnite Winterfest.
Plus, Solo's already over level 100, so.
So the big thing for me, I think, is you can get a frozen Peely skin. It's like an ice Peely. It's pretty cool, and that will be a free skin. So even if you don't have a battle pass and you aren't really like that interested in Fortnite, if you're even remotely on the fence, just go in and get these free items. They're free, you know. And that does it for what we got going in the news. And you know, this week in the rumor mill, it's empty. There aren't any real rumors to talk about. I mean, we could always talk rumor Xenoblade 3, but I don't know. Who knows when that's coming, right? Since we got SoloSomething here. We should have taken the opportunity to talk Xenoblade. Maybe we'll answer it with some of these community questions. So let's head over to the last segment of our show and talk the community corner. And we've got a good healthy amount of questions here. And I'm glad we got K9 and Solo here, because there's some questions that we're gonna probably need some tiebreakers on, like who would win in an arm wrestle. I mean, I hate to brag, but I've been doing Ring Fit.
Just look at these arms and this puffy coat.
just look at these sticks. Man, my arm.
And that's cheating. You can't go all the way. It enhances how your muscle looks.
Really? I just have. I'm so skinny. The angle. I am so skinny that my muscle is like prominent. Right, like there's nothing hiding it, so that's all there is, and it's about this big, like little baby muscle. Anywho, let's go to the first question from our buddy Dan from the Retro Logic podcast. Asks, will 2022 finally be the year of Donkey Kong?
Probably not.
I
would like to see this famous Donkey Kong we keep hearing about. That's going to be like
this like 3D.
I don't think
it
exists.
I want them to come out with that.
I don't think it exists, guys. I think it's a dream.
Donkey Kong has definitely not gotten a lot of love recently. Donkey Kong's overdue for sure.
I mean, they finally threw Samus a bone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was incredible.
It's true.
Yes, juicy bone.
I feel like Donkey Kong would sell so well on the Switch. How well did Tropical Freeze sell? It probably sold pretty good, the port.
It's still selling good, yeah.
Yeah. I still see it popping up in the bestsellers every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think we'll get a year of Donkey Kong. I'm sorry, Dan. I know you love Donkey Kong. I don't get it, but hey. He's cool. Donkey Kong's cool, and but I really don't think they'll do it. I think Donkey Kong is relegated to the same level as Samus, so may get a big game. Most likely not. But
it seems like Donkey Kong might be slipping a little closer to Star Fox and F-Zero.
Yeah, but they're making a movie. Well, that's still just a rumor. That hasn't been officially announced. But the theme park edition is
true,
all but confirmed that they're making. He's going to have his own segment at the theme park. So at that scale, he's on par with Mario. So it doesn't make sense. If they're doing all that stuff, he better get a game. Like, come on, you can't do all that and not have a game for Donkey Kong. Like, oh, he's gonna make a cameo in this movie, and no. 2D or 3D Donkey Kong? What's everybody's opinion on that?
I want a 3D Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I agree. I want a 3D Donkey Kong. However, what's come out so far, I enjoy the 2Ds more. But I would love to see a good 3D Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I'd like to see a 3D Donkey Kong and see it done right. I don't want it to just be like just shot out of a cannon and say, "Okay, here you go, shut up." I mean, I want to see a 3D Donkey Kong done right.
Yeah, I want to see Donkey Kong standing in a grassy field, looking in the distance. You know,
and then a robot charging.
like every open world game nowadays. You know what's funny to me? I was thinking about this today. Is when 2D, or no, when 3D games were like first coming out and being released, which like N64, your PlayStation 1, your original Xbox, everything got compared to Ocarina of Time. And nowadays, literally everything comes out, they're like, it looks very Breath of the Wild like. Isn't that funny? Like, Zelda's always the baseline we compare everything to. We're like, it looks very much like Ocarina of Time, or it plays like Link to the Past. It plays like Breath of the Wild. You're like,
I think it's because the Zelda games, though, they've always kind of been the pioneer in their specific fields. Like, and they do a very good job at it, which is why I think they're so memorable, and they get used as a comparison a lot.
Yeah, because I mean, Zelda's kind of late to the open world, but
yeah,
they did it so well for their first.
Seriously, I mean, they essentially took all the open world, perfected that, and then they were like, okay, and now we'll put our own spin on it. I mean, the climbing was insane. The gliding, just the traversal.
I mean, down to the detail for like, if you have a metal weapon and it's storming outside, you're gonna get struck by lightning.
Yeah.
I mean, just the little detail.
And then you go try and climb a mountain in Skyrim. Like janking your way up the mountain.
You still climb, but it's not the same.
My horse is at a 90-degree angle. What is happening? Yeah, it's funny. I'm throwing shade there, but I actually really enjoy Skyrim. Skyrim was groundbreaking for what it was as well. But everything gets compared to Breath of the Wild nowadays. Yeah. Anytime there's an open world looking game and there's grass, they're like, it's giving off big Breath of the Wild vibes. You see that from like everybody.
Especially if there's anything like resembling cell shading.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Though I did think about all y'all on the Game Awards when they had that tongue-in-cheek commercial from the company, and they said, we're hiring because we're running out of ways to port Skyrim to different consoles or something like that.
I didn't see that one. That's funny.
That is great. But for real though, that's been ported enough. Give us the next one.
I'm a sucker though. I've bought Skyrim 3 different times, so.
Oh, man.
I actually never bought it, but I did play through it.
I played through it on your... Oh, wait. Whose was that?
Lincoln's.
Oh,
Xbox.
Okay. Micah was borrowing the Xbox, and I played it while Micah was borrowing it.
I actually never played. I played maybe 8 hours of Skyrim. I played more ESO, Elder Scrolls Online. So,
okay. I was like, what's ESO?
Yeah.
I'm not a real Elder Scrolls fan. I couldn't get the acronym. But yeah, that's also apparently very good. People really like Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah, it touches a lot on the mythology you see in Skyrim.
Yeah, world building in there is really fun. I do like how they did that. You can really immerse yourself into that. Dan, thanks for the question. We've gone all sorts of places with this, but let me tell you this. Donkey Kong deserves the year 2022 for sure. I would love to see it, and I would love to see a new Donkey Kong game. Yeah, that's what I want. And maybe a Donkey Kong Game & Watch would be really cool with a bunch of the classic Donkey Kong games. Yeah, let's go.
That would fit into that form factor very well.
Next question on the topic of Nintendo Minute. This is where I learned, thanks to our buddy Seth from the All In podcast. He asks, are any of y'all Nintendo Minute fans? They just aired their final episode today after 8 years and over 400 episodes. Would love to shout out some favorite Nintendo Minute memories if anybody was a fan. And here's his. Personally, I loved the Nintendo Store shopping spree episodes. They'd either do a scavenger hunt or just raid the Nintendo stores, and all of the items acquired went to charity. I'm gonna miss it. That was so cool. I did watch those. Those were really fun. Where it was like running to try and get the best items, and in the limited time frame and like within the rules they had, and they were in like the secret Nintendo store. Like that, yeah, cool stuff.
Then the one where it was everything they could carry at one point in time, so they're all walking around trying to balance all these games and consoles and everything.
Dude, that's so fun. Yeah, they did some really cool episodes. Anybody have any memories they want to shout out specific? They remember anything?
I don't have any. Actually, I didn't watch any too much of the Nintendo minutes.
I don't think I've seen any.
Yeah, I haven't.
Really?
I never saw any.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the official Nintendo YouTubers, basically.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, that was what they were. I have seen a few. I always complained, like, I wish that this was better. That was what I would always say. But they weren't bad. I don't want to come in here and make it seem like oh, I think these are bad, but I do feel like a lot of other Nintendo creators, not within Nintendo, do a better job doing the same kinds of stuff that they were doing. But there are just certain things that only they could do because they're Nintendo, which was those like interviews with some of the biggest names in the company. You know, like they did an interview with Koji Kondo.
Alnuma.
Yeah, yep, Anuma. And
See, I listen more to like their official podcast more than their Nintendo minutes. Like I enjoyed like their official podcast, like when they had on the creators of Breath of the Wild, and they were on there and they were talking to them, and hearing the story about how they got the motorcycle into the actual Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
and, stuff
put the motorcycle in. Yeah, that's a funny story, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, Seth, thanks so much for the shout out. I know Seth was a fan of the Nintendo Minute. I am also, even I'm a reluctant fan. I'm like, even though I always was like, this could be something better. I don't fault Kit and Krista for that. I think they were doing really good work with what they were doing. I mean, that wasn't their full-time job. I think that was just like a side thing they were doing while working at Nintendo of America. Which, cool, man. If I worked at Nintendo of America, I would have been all in. Like, please sign me up to be one of those guys. Like I was saying, I volunteer as tribute, man. I'll keep Nintendo Minute going. Let's do it. Nintendo, hire us. We're Nintendo pals. The branding's there.
Then you could do it. Yeah,
we'll sell out. We'll sell out. There's no shame here.
Yeah, the Nintendo pals might end really early if certain offers are made.
Oh my god!
Y'all could do it. Y'all could start filming at like 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, it'd work out really good.
Yeah.
When Micah starts admitting Ocarina of Time is the superior game, I'll know something's up.
You'll know I've been tortured or threatened profusely.
I can't wait. I can't wait for Nintendo to buy out Micah to tell the world that Ocarina of Time is a fantastic game on Nintendo Switch.
It would literally never happen.
That should be a channel point reward.
They couldn't offer me enough money.
It's like
100,000 channel points.
If you donate $1 million, I still won't say it. I'll keep your money, but I won't say it.
Wow! Whoa!
Just a warning.
Yeah, it should be a channel point reward. That would be pretty funny. I could just play that. I did edit together a clip of Micah admitting it was better.
I have a clip that I didn't edit where Andros admitted that Wind Waker was better. So I don't know if you want to start that fight.
Yeah. Well, we could have both. They're both 100,000 points to play the clip.
Well, when Majora's Mask comes out, then that'll be the true king. So
you may be right. We don't know. Micah and I can't really say till it does.
I'm doubtful, but I'll go into it with an open mind.
It sounds like you're not, though. Like
I went into Ocarina of Time with an open mind, and I was like, I do not enjoy this game. I thought this game was much better than it is.
Definitely Micah did. He did go in with an open mind. I will give you that. You were like, I want to play it again to really give a fair shake here on which one's better. And he came out going, this is worse than I remember.
Yeah, as I had just so much nostalgia for it.
Yeah. I did not have the same experience at all. I went in, played again, and was like, this is still good and really fun.
Which is I shouldn't after you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I will say most of the game mechanics are pretty similar in Majora's Mask because they literally just took all the same character models and everything else, but made it into a different story. But the story and like the putting the mask on to actually change forms and give you new abilities and stuff, it makes it way better. And then the overarching story is way better as well.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
That was one of the things when I played through again, I was like, man, of Ocarina of Time, I remember it being like the story being a lot better. It's like a lot more sparse than I remember it being.
Oh, okay. I got totally distracted here. Seth, thanks so much for the question. Our next question comes from Mungalmoo. What is the worst Nintendo console and why? I didn't pre-read that one. I just copy pasted it over. I didn't even know we were answering this. Hey, who wants to go first? Who's got a worst Nintendo console? No one. They're all good. That's what we're saying. I
like every one of the Nintendo consoles I've ever owned. I mean, but I haven't owned every one of them, so I can't really. I can only speak from the ones I have not read. It seemed like the Wii U was not as well received as Nintendo hoped it was not.
Wow. The Wii U was a great console, and I will die on that hill.
It wasn't. It definitely didn't sell as well.
I think
it does well.
That.
Yeah, but there were some great games. As a lot of people have now played since most of them.
I'm playing them all on my Switch. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, worst Nintendo console. I mean, it might be a little sacrilegious for me to say, but I think it's just out of all of them, the original NES.
Probably don't say that.
How dare you?
I mean, but everything since it has been better.
Well, I would potentially say the Game Boy Color because I feel like it added the least. It's
okay.
Just now, there's color now. I mean, that's pretty cool, but it's not as groundbreaking or like as big of a change as.
The original NES though was the bomb. That was like that brings out so much nostalgia. You had to blow in the cartridge, and you had to put it when you put it in there. You had to like pop it in right off that lip, otherwise it wouldn't start up on you and stuff. So,
I mean, the Super Nintendo had that too. I mean, you had to blow in the cartridge for the Super Nintendo still.
Slimtor has a good point. The Virtual Boy because bleeding eyes.
Yeah. Oh, I don't feel like I can give Virtual Boy a fair shake because I have never tried Virtual Boy. I didn't know this thing existed until like the last 5 years. I'm like, man, how did I not know about this? I want this. That probably should be the right answer.
Eye doctors also want you to get it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So I don't know. This is like picking the worst Zelda. All of them are good. All of them are good. I can say that I would put the Wii U above the NES. I put the SNES above the NES. I put the N64 above the NES. That's why I'm saying the NES is the worst one, but it's still really, really good and really cool. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But I actually wholeheartedly agree with Micah. Game Boy Color should be the answer. Yeah, and that is one I owned and played. I'm like, yeah, well, this is nothing different than the Game Boy. It's got color, but it's it was like
one of the versions of the 3DS.
Right. I liked all
or
the
the DS. There are a couple like the DS Lite. That's not that necessary.
No, the DS Lite was so much better than the regular DS. It was. It looked so much nicer too, and actually could fit in your pocket.
Yeah, but then the 3DS came out at some point after that. So
there was the DSi between that, and that had internet.
Oh, maybe that's the one I was thinking of.
No, DSi was also really cool. I'm like, oh man, these are all really good. K9, what's your worst? What's your worst Nintendo console?
Of the ones I own, because I had a pretty big gap between the Wii and the Switch. I guess big gap. There's only one.
No, there's only one in there.
But I think my least favorite was probably the Wii. Personally, I wasn't ready for motion controls. Like with a lot of the games, I was excited for that come out with the Wii, like Skyward Sword. But now, playing Skyward Sword with the Switch and everything was a lot better experience.
Do you do non-motion controls?
No, I actually use motion controls the whole time.
But are they just more accurate or quality of life changes? I don't know.
Yeah, I would say so, because I never actually got to do a full playthrough on the Wii, because I borrowed the game. But it seems like they were a lot more responsive. And then just being able to hit Y to kind of reset the gyro on it was pretty helpful. So
I tried motion controls, but I played a little bit, but then I had to stop, and I played the whole thing either with just like Joy-Cons mounted or with a Pro controller the whole entire time.
Not gonna lie, some of the bosses I tried with button controls, and I did the whole Mario Party kind of jiggle with the joystick, just trying to beat them.
I had a nightmare of flying the loft wing with like just doing motion controls. It wasn't.
No, it wasn't bad once you got the hang of it. You just had to, like I said, just keep hitting Y to reset the gyro, and then you had to like hold your arms set at your side and literally do this.
Yeah.
That's how I had to do it to catch that one bird in the beginning to get the statue.
Yeah.
Wait, what game? We're talking Star Fox, right?
No, Skyward Sword.
Oh my gosh! I heard when you said Loftwing, I heard what are those called? Wait,
What are those called?
aren't those called Loftwings?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the birds.
No,
Yeah.
the
Star Fox.
Star Fox.
Star Fox.
I want to say they are called Loftwings, but they can't be.
Yeah, that's why I was like, wait, there wasn't a Star Fox game on the Wii. I thought.
Do they even have any names?
I know there's an Andros in Star Fox, isn't it? Yeah.
The R Wing.
Yeah.
The R Wing. Oh my gosh,
Oh, yeah.
I'm so
Okay.
dumb. My bad. I was yeah.
I mean, it sounded
But
right,
yeah,
but it couldn't
you're-
have possibly been right.
You are right on the Loftwing controls being real janky. I remember yeah. Mike, I'm just taking your hot take right now and posting this out on Twitter that you put in the chat here. The only thing wrong with the Wii U are people's perceptions of it. I think that is a very quotable thing to say, and will attract all them Nintendo Grinches to our.
Yeah,
There we go.
Send all emails to such and such Micah at.
Yeah. But that's the genius of saying this. I can just say, well, your perception's just wrong. They can't come up with a good counter argument. It's just wrong.
Wow, you got him good. Froze there for a second. That was my bad. So Solo.
Yes.
What is your worst Nintendo console? You said you liked them all. Are you going to stick with Wii U? It's not an unpopular pick.
Well,
It's just unpopular among us because we love the Wii U. You know, we're
Really?
biased.
Nintendo Land, top 10 best games.
That's true. That's true.
Now, see, I never owned a Wii U. So I was just saying that I mean, me personally, I don't think it was a bad console because I never owned it. What I was saying was just taking from what I read across the internet. People
Yeah.
like, saying like, yeah,
I
it
see.
was just this, it was that, it was that. So no, I don't have a personal, stake in it for that. So as far as like actually like the worst console that Nintendo put out, I mean, I had a big gap. I had the NES, I had the SNES, and then we played on my friends like GameCube, and then I fell off the radar, and then I picked back up the Wii, and then didn't have the Wii U, and then got the Switch. So I'd probably say if I had to pick one, I'd say the Wii, because I felt it was less of a gaming console, and I felt it was more just kind of and I use this term loosely from like a better way of finding something, but more kind of a gimmick. Like it's just kind of like, okay, this is kind of this is going to be more for exercising and more for kind of like the motion control. It was heavily motion control, and I really didn't feel like it was. I feel like it was not much of a. It took too much away from the gaming aspect.
Yeah, I think a lot of like party games, like WarioWare and things,
Yeah,
made good use of that.
yeah.
But it wasn't always the best to have motion controls in games. But I still think they were fun.
I was looking for more games of like, run, jump, stomp type stuff, roll, dodge, run, yeah, and less of like throw my arms here, do this here, and stuff like that.
Yeah. I can see that. This is a great question. Thank you for asking the question, Mogamu. Follow-up question on this same line, but different question entirely. What are some hot takes y'all have? So, let's start with Micah. Give us your off the cuff hot take in the Nintendo sphere.
Ocarina of Time isn't very good.
Whoa, what a surprising hot take from Micah.
It's not terrible. It's just Zelda games have improved.
Man, I do have a lot of hot takes. I'm trying to think. Anybody else got one and want to go next? I didn't want to put y'all on the spot. I'm like trying to think which one I should go with. If I should say something new, I don't know what I've shared on the show.
Yeah, I don't know. Since Ocarina of Time came out so long ago, I don't know if that can still be considered a hot take.
I think so. I think so. It's beloved. It's beloved by many for you to come in and smack on it like you do. It's like coming in and just slapping someone's child right across the face for no reason.
And that's the word being a bad child, trying to murder someone.
Yeah,
nope,
not appropriate for you to come slap.
If a child was trying to murder someone, I think it was.
I don't think slapping is the thing to do in that case. I think.
Maybe was slapping the knife out of their hand or something.
Okay.
I think that
I don't think you should slap children. I just want to say that real quick.
Disclaimer.
I'm glad you said that before you left the pocket.
I think probably one of the most disappointing things this year from Nintendo has been the lack of coverage of Zelda's anniversary, or lack of recognition. Not even so much like products and everything, just lack of recognition.
I don't know if that's a hot take. Everybody agrees with you.
Well, it's a popular one.
It's a popular hot take. I like that. Yeah, it's true. It's true. And that's up for biggest disappointment of the year in our Nintendo PAL Awards. That's one of the awards.
I may have voted for that one.
The only negative award. Yeah.
And so what's the question? What are we trying to do? A hot take on
what's your hot? Yeah, give us your hottest take that you can
Ninfrendo is asking what is a hot take.
Hot take is okay. So
quite know how to describe it.
I'll describe it as this: it is an opinion. It is a strong opinion that goes very much against the norm. So you could, I mean, there's gonna be people that agree with you for sure, but you're definitely standing against.
Usually about something that people are pretty opinionated about.
So, for instance, my a recent hot take by me was that I think that Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack is well worth the cost. And I think it's not that bad, and I think people are being too negative about it.
And so we're giving what they're asking for is a hot take on like Nintendo in general, about anything in Nintendo.
Yeah, anything in it. Yeah, I mean, it could be on an IP. So like, maybe is it a hot take to be like, I don't think Kirby games are that good?
I would agree with that.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe it's not that hot of a take.
No. I definitely think. Yeah.
Oh man, sorry. I've played a lot of them, and I just have never really come away going like that was a cool experience. Like
Kirby and the Forbidden Lands, Forgotten Lands.
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to that. It seems like a nice reset. Oh, Ninfrendo's hot take is Miyamoto should retire. Ooh. Whoa.
That would be a hot take.
That would be a hot take.
I don't know if that's just an example you're trying to give here, or.
Yo, yeah, it's. I don't know. I like hot takes in that regard. Like maybe saying like Super Smash Bros. Should be done. I don't think that. I can't lie to you. I think Smash Bros. Should go forever.
See, okay, yeah, that'd be a good hot take because I disagree.
Okay, whoa. You think this is it?
I think they did a very good job.
Whoa! In chat, Schlimtor, Zelda 2 is better than Zelda 1.
Whoa, okay. That might be worse.
That's a spicy take.
That might be worse.
You think Smash Bros should should end.
I do, because Ultimate, I think they did, or at least give it another console or two.
Give it some time.
Reboot it. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they put so much effort into it, and I feel like they've done Ultimate so well.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get another Smash Bros. On the Switch. And supposedly the Switch will last another, 4 or 5 years if Nintendo gets their way, so...
I think y'all underestimate the abilities of Masahiro Sakurai. This man will not go down like this. Ultimate is not the end. It will just get bigger. He
has said it's the end, or not to expect any more.
Yeah, he said not to expect any more. And then, you know what's going to happen is he's going to release the freaking greatest game in the series. It's gonna have
open world.
Open
Smash
world
Bros.
Smash Bros. 250 characters, 1,000 stages.
Every Nintendo character ever, including Plock.
Yeah,
oh, no. The one character they don't have, Plock.
All in podcast. Our buddy Seth says Sakurai, I think, is stepping away. I don't know about that. I don't think he can. Listen,
I think he has mentioned he's wanted to make another game.
There's this weird perception that's come up around Sakurai. This is not on topic to the question, sorry. But there's this weird perception that's come out around Sakurai where he is in bad health and is tired and doesn't want to do Smash Bros anymore. And I think that is a bit misconstrued, if that's the right word here.
He had some health problems at some point.
Yes, and he actually cleared it up in an he cleared it up in an interview. Harada's bar. He was like, yeah, I'm fine. he's like, I'm good. That was a long time ago. He's like, I struggled with it for a bit, but doing good. He works a lot, but I don't think he's quite as trapped in the Nintendo sweatshop as current culture seems to be painting him here. And he's not young, but he's not close to retirement age, and he definitely has stated that he will continue to work. He wants to work as long as he can. So I just don't see him stepping away from it. I think he likes what he does. He really does, despite being stuck on the same project for so long. I think there's enough variety in there. He likes what he does. I can't speak for him, but I think...
I thought I'd heard, at least from somewhere, that he wanted to work on a different game, though.
I think that was
All In Podcast is in the chat, said he hopes he steps away and makes another Kid Icarus.
I love that.
Cool. Whoa, yeah. Wait, whoa, that now really you're cool. Talking my language.
Yeah, we don't need another Smash Bros. I take it all back.
Heck yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know. I can't really think of a good hot take other than my opinion on the NSO online. I think it's worth the price of entry. A hot take. I think that the internet comment section around Nintendo anything needs to just get a life. I mean, that's my take on that. I know this is not everybody, but it just seems like you go to Nintendo's Twitter account, you go to their YouTube channel, you go to any of their social medias, and it is just filled with complaining, and it just never stops. And it's like, come on. I mean, just if you're not liking it, then go play something else. Mm-hmm. Don't be in here all the time begging for free Melee, begging for the next Mario Kart to come out, or just slamming on everything that they do. Graphics look bad. This game's not worth $60. It's what K9 has coined, and I think we both kind of came up with it. K9 definitely pushed for the Nintendo Grinch. That's the term. The Nintendo Grinch is alive and well and comes in many numbers. And I think it makes it a little bit of a bummer that some of that this is the culture around Nintendo to like hate Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. I like our communities, like in our podcast spaces here, and in
Because
these
we hate
pockets.
Xbox and PlayStation.
No, because we're a positive space, and we, we can have negative conversations about negative things that happen. Because we're not talking about some of that stuff, but I don't know. I just feel like we don't dwell on it as much as other places do.
Well, there's definitely a place to recognize the negatives, but it gets to the point on like some of these. I watch a video and then read the comments section or somebody commenting on a new game coming out, and I'm like, wow, I didn't even know I had those. Like, that was a negative opinion until I watched this. Now it's like, oh,
yeah. It kind of like ruins it for you a little bit.
It does.
You watched it and you're like, wow, I really enjoyed that. Let's go see. This is the way it is for everything, not just Nintendo. You're like, let's see what other people thought, and you go down to the comments and it's like, this sucks because blah 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 blah. You're like, oh well, yeah, maybe it does kind of suck a little bit. I like it.
Sometimes I like reading comments though. Like
I like.
Sometimes when I read the comments, some of them crack me up with some of the ingenuity they come up with, some of the little retorts that I read and stuff like that. They give me a good laugh.
I feel like people's hatred of Nintendo gives me power when I read through these comments because they're usually just so dumb. They don't have like any real reasoning. I mean, because you can be like constructive or have like valid points, but a lot of the time people are just negative to be negative.
Yeah,
just to bash on things and be a troll.
Yeah, points for coming up with funny ways to do that. I guess I do enjoy that. Like Solo said, I'm willing to laugh, but to come in here and just constantly be like, this game isn't worth this much. The graphics don't look as good. Why would you play this? Like, it's just like, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything. That's like our philosophy here on Nintendo Pals. Unless we're talking about Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time, yeah, because...
Well, everybody's entitled to their wrong opinion.
Yeah,
people
this guy,
need to know the truth.
This guy doesn't like cheese, okay? He can't give you any good opinions. Come on. Forget about it. I don't know where I was going with that. My weird New Yorker accent there.
Oh, no.
Oh man. Ocarina of Time is great. Listen, I got to counter you every time. I still love that game. Still great. Okay, next question here. From Hambone Johnny. We get this question.
This is a good one.
This is similar to other questions. We've gotten variations of this question several times. From Mason, I think usually is where we get these ones from. Like, who wins these gladiator battles? But Hambone asks, who would win in a fight? Mario, Link, or Samus? So that's the first question. There are multiple parts to this, but who would win in a fight?
My money would be on Samus. She's all business.
I second Samus.
I kind of think I third Samus. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to agree with Samus.
That's funny. We're unanimous. Listen, I think it's okay for sure. It's between Samus and Link, right? Like Mario's gone.
Yeah.
Mario's out. Sorry, Mario.
And especially Samus's last fight in Dread. Watching that, I'm like, oh yeah, for sure, Samus.
Yeah, she gets raged out pretty good. Yeah.
It really depends. So are we talking full power Link versus full power Samus? Because that's a tough call.
We're not talking about broken invincibility item Link.
Because
now, if we're talking fierce deity Link, definitely fierce deity Link.
It really depends on what Link and what things he's got. Same with Samus, though.
I don't know. Samus has that kind of spoilery ability that, who knows, could render fierce deity Link.
It's true.
Powerless?
Crab armor Samus is what he's referring to. So yeah.
He can't. Okay, so All-In does bring up a good point. Link can deflect Guardian Blasts in Breath of the Wild, so
that's true. The big blast from Samus's gun. He's just pot lid. Whoa!
Yeah.
Just runs in, and then does a flurry rush.
I mean, but does that work if Samus just shoots one continuous beam like we've seen? He like deflects the one. Is like, oh wait a second, there's more beam here.
I don't
And
know.
you remember Samus has got a spin attack too. She can just go into a spin attack. She can just spin all around.
I mean, the power bomb, that's a pretty big explosion.
Yeah. Power bomb, yeah. She can come from all angles, all directions.
Yeah,
And
my gut
since
reaction.
Samus is not a source of like evil, the Master Sword is just like a regular sword. Could that even damage her armor?
Mm.
But he can use Magnesis and just throw Samus against the pin or against the wall.
Oh my gosh.
That lets you lift metal. I don't think it lets you control every aspect. So would she still be able to control her arm and aim at Link while he's doing that?
Well, you can definitely
you do raise a good point.
A bunch of times.
I don't know. I don't know. Would it work on her zero gravity suit?
Oh, that's true. She busts out if she needs to.
She said, "I got you."
Then it's a little closer.
Man, this is a lot more in depth than what I thought it'd be.
I really want this to be a thing. I want to watch this, not in like Smash Bros style, but like an anime battle. Have you guys seen the Smash reveal for Palutena? Where it's
going with that.
Pit versus Link. That would be so cool to watch. Like an anime style Link versus Samus.
I was gonna say
good.
It would be really cool if we had a game where we could actually make this battle happen.
Yeah.
Another point with the Magnesis, though. I mean that moves pretty slow.
Maybe this.
They have to stand there for like 3 seconds.
I think this might have to be a post show. We'll fire up Smash Bros. We'll put them both on level 9. We'll see who wins.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. But my gut does say
if we're doing
Samus.
it that way, we might as well just have Mario join in as well.
Mario wins. Oh man.
Oh yeah, Ninfrendo has a good point. Samus has a parry too. Just parry that beam back and forth.
That'd be just.
Link does have some experience with that, but
I was gonna say that'd be just
Samus
like a boss fight in Zelda.
Yep.
Every Zelda has that boss fight. Man, thanks for the question, Hambone. Okay, the next one. He's like, so who would win of the 3 in a hot dog eating contest?
Well, that'd be Mario.
I think Link, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mario's got a little like.
Give it to Mario on this one.
You give it to Mario? I was just thinking. I did.
His belly's so round.
I did Chef of the Wild recently, so I'm just thinking of all the things Link ate.
Now Mario on Yoshi, definitely.
Oh, Yoshi. Well, Yoshi.
Yeah, if there's a little cheating with Yoshi going on, but but then so it's Mario, and Yoshi, and Link and Epona.
Okay, the next one here.
And Samus and a Metroid.
Who would win an episode of the Great British Baking Show? Link.
Yeah,
that's a hands down. That's hands down. Go watch our Chef of the Wild video, man. Everything looks so good.
Maybe in Metroid Prime 4, they'll just like randomly throw in that Samus is a really great cook. But I don't see that happening, and we have no evidence.
How does she eat it?
Rations. Sea rations.
Yeah, I feel like she's the type of person that's just like eating smoothies and
just
like,
blend it up.
Yeah,
but maybe that just makes her appreciate
just
good
injects
food when
it
she has
into
the opportunity.
Suit.
Exactly.
I am really liking these questions. This is a great discussion. A dizzy bat race. Is that when you like spin on the bat?
On the bat, looking down.
I'd say Samus because she's got the morph ball that.
Yeah.
Link
does have the spin attack, which is very similar, but I still have to give it to Samus because the screw attack and the morph ball.
So she's impervious to nausea from spinning.
Dizziness.
Yeah.
Our scope works really well.
That was a fantastic question, Sambo and Johnny. I wasn't expecting us to get into like the lore on who would be more effective between Samus and Link. All right, now here's another versus question for you guys.
Well, I just got an idea between the Samus and Link. All Samus has to do is do her regular thing and blow up the whole planet while she escapes. Even fierce deity Link, I don't know, he's just floating in space now at that point.
Link has stopped the destruction of an entire planet with the whole moon crash thing.
That's true.
I don't know how
Plus, he could just like hook shot to the back of her ship.
Guys, this is why we need more Smash Bros.
But then he's still in space.
This is why we need more Smash Bros. This is what.
Sorry, I didn't mean to revive this.
This is what's next in the series. They're gonna do it's going to be a big, grandiose adventure. Like, maybe we're stepping away from fighting games, and it's a 3D adventure crossover game. You know?
You do realize, though, at some point, word's going to get around the galaxy, and Samus is not going to be welcomed on any planet because they're going to realize what her arrival heralds.
Who's telling them?
We're the survivors to spread this story.
That's why we've been waiting so long for Metroid Prime 4. She's blowing up all the other planets that volunteered for it.
Oh, man.
Nobody can talk. There's no witnesses.
The greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy. Can anybody prove? Nope, no one can prove it.
How many bounties has she like turned in? These are all like dead or alive, right? Emphasis on the dead.
Efficient.
All right. Next question comes from Muggle Moo again. Asks, who would win in an arm wrestle, Andros or Micah? Well, Andros doesn't have arms. He's a floating head. So
win by default.
Micah wins by default. All right, last question here comes from Schlimtor. Asks, what are your thoughts on using stream time to finally get to your backlog of video games? As in streaming as an excuse to play your backlog. So everybody here does stream except Solo. You haven't done streaming yet, but you play quite a bit gaming. So I guess, how big is your backlog? Do you got a lot of games to catch up on, Solo?
Actually, not that many. I've got probably like 4 or 5. I've been knocking them out. When actually we put into Discord, like our finished list for this year, I was actually impressed with myself. I was like, wow, I really cranked out a lot and really completed a lot that I've needed to get done.
Yeah, I need to go through and do my complete list. I feel like my backlog has gotten really big, but it depends on if I'm counting like every game I've tried. I don't think so. I think there's games that I set out and go, I want to finish this, and then there are games that I just want to try, to sample, like at a buffet.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely do have a rather large backlog of games that I want to finish. And I can rattle off a bunch of them for you right now. I got Skyward Sword, Pikmin 3 Deluxe.
Yeah, finished Skyward Sword? Oh, wow.
Hollow Knight. No, I haven't finished Skyward Sword. I mean, I got sidetracked by all these other games coming out. I still haven't finished the story mode in Mario Golf. I have a lot of time in that game. I've star clubbed on so many guys. I did finish Dread.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Thank goodness it was only like an 8-hour campaign. I was like, oh, whew. But we were talking about this. Schlimtor and I were talking about this on Discord because, yeah, I've been using this to go back. I mean, streaming got me the excuse to get and play Wind Waker HD on the Wii U, and so I think it's a great way to be motivated to do it, because you might not always be motivated to go back to your backlog items, but if you're doing a stream, you feel like, well, I gotta keep it going, you know, especially if people in the stream are really enjoying it. And Wind Waker has been like that for me. Definitely after the first play, I was like not sold 100%. Maybe it's because I was still learning the controls, you know, and just kind of, I was like, I don't know if I can make it through this entire game. I knew I was going to enjoy it, but I didn't know. I had so many other things to play, you know. But the stream was really successful, and there were a lot of people that were really enjoying watching that. So I was like, well, I'll do it again. And I did it again and really enjoyed it. And it helped me keep my momentum in the game. And I keep coming back to it because I keep wanting to do those streams. So for me, it's been awesome.
And it's the second best Legend of Zelda game. So that helps.
How about for you, Micah? What do you think streaming backlog items?
I don't think I've streamed any of my backlog items. I've mostly streamed things I've already played. And I'm trying to think, because I haven't streamed that much.
You're about to start a stream for Paper Mario, right?
Yeah. So I've essentially just been holding off of that, on playing that, so I can play it first time on stream.
Yeah.
It did convince me to play Metroid Dread again, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was fun to watch.
Metroid Dread was so good that I finished it, and then it went into my backlog, and then I played it like a week later.
It is that good of a game. K9, how about yourself?
So personally, I just started streaming probably several months ago, and haven't here recently. Excuse me. But as far as the backlog games, I enjoy doing it. Coming from a consumer of content kind of standpoint, I love watching people play backlog games that they haven't played before, because I love watching people's reactions to a game that like I care a lot about, and I love seeing the initial playthrough. That's like, when you guys are going to stream Majora's Mask, having never played it before, I'm really going to enjoy just you guys getting that first take of it. Like, I enjoy watching creators do that. So I'm a fan of streaming the backlog items. Like you said, it's keeps you motivated. Coming from actually playing the game, it's fun to go through as a community as well. When you have a few people that make it fun, telling you tips and tricks, and while you're figuring stuff out, kind of help leading you along the way.
Yes. Majora's, we got in chat here, a man of culture. Majora's Mask is the best Zelda. Everybody's got their favorite.
Definitely.
I'm excited.
I mean, right there.
Yeah, you got the Majora's Mask in the background. You go. You know it. Well, thank you so much for the question, Shlimtor. This is one. It's a fun topic to talk through, like what to stream, what not to stream. Because for me, like certain games are very stream friendly, where I can pay attention to what's happening in the chat and be really interactive with the audience. And then other games I feel like require my full attention on what's happening, especially moments in games. Like I've got to be paying attention.
I don't recommend Boomerang X.
Yeah, Micah did do that one, and he was like
zero time to look.
It's like I could never look at the chat, and it was like I was so hyper focused on the game, I like forgot to talk.
And when I'd get like quieter and quieter as time went on.
Yeah. Question in chat from Nintendo asks, is Majora's Mask coming to NSO? Yes. Hasn't been announced time frame for it yet, but it will be coming. And
I think it was data mined, like for sure.
They showed it in the trailer for
they did. Okay.
For games coming.
They keep the one a month. It shouldn't be more than like 4 months or something. I don't remember how many games they announced.
Mike and I definitely plan to play through it when it comes out. I don't know if we'll both stream it. That might be a little boring.
Side by side as we're playing. Yeah,
maybe we both stream it side by side. We're both just playing through for the first time. Hey, so where are you at?
That's one thing I do like is like certain things, like when streamers do play games that are out there that are not on my backlog, but the games that I want to play but I know I can never get to, and they're playing it, and I'm like, okay, well, I know I can never time wise in life get to this game, but I can watch this streamer play it, and I can watch them play it all the way through to the end, so at least I can see the game, see the storyline, see how it ends, and at least I can enjoy the game that way.
Yeah.
And get to appreciate it. And I'm like, for instance, I did that with last Paper Mario. Watched a streamer play it all the way through because I knew I'd never get to it.
Yeah. Live vicariously. I have done that for us YouTubers, definitely, especially in high school. I watched a lot of like video versions of a playthrough to like get the story. Yeah. Good time. That's a good time. Well, y'all, this has been one of the longest episodes of Nintendo Pals, maybe the longest ever. But what a blast we've had! Thanks to everyone who submitted questions for the community corner. The news items were fun to cover this week, and huge shout out and thanks to K9Cantina, Jesse, and Eston, aka SoloSomething, for coming on and being guests on our show to geek out on Fortnite with us and talk all things Nintendo. So if you want to take the time now to maybe plug your stuff, if you have stuff you want to plug, K9, where can people find you?
Well, I am in the Discord, Nintendo Pals, Retrologic, Nintendo Dads, kind of that little community we got all in. I'm also on Twitch. I do stream occasionally. It's been a few weeks, but K9Cantina pretty well everywhere. Yeah, and then I'm also on Twitter at K9Cantina on Twitter.
Solo, you want to plug any where can people find you?
Yeah, I'm just in the Discord. Like I'm saying, I'm on like pretty much everybody knows where I'm at now at this point as far as in the Discords. And so I'm like I say, I'm not streaming or I'm not on any kind of I'm not a podcaster.
Listen, if you want to have,
you practically are now.
Yeah, yeah. This is your second time being on a podcast as a
actually
guest.
Third.
That's right.
Man, you're definitely a legit podcaster then.
Yeah, I was on Retro Logic. I was on the Nintendo there's Nintendo Pals here, and then I was on the Nintendo Dads one. So yeah, this is my third time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Solo is on Discord, and you can join our Discord. Links to that are in the description of the show. It's a nice plug. I feel kind of bad that we're using Solo as an advertisement for our community because he is just such an awesome guy. But if he ever does, if you ever do decide to start up streams, whatever, you know where you can find him on our Discord too. So, let's see here. What is our... I hope I'm hitting the right button here for the outro music. I'm not. Nothing's happening. Awesome. There we go. It's kicking in now. Special thanks to our friend Roger Pollard for the intro and outro music for the show. He actually wrote, composed, made all of this for us and our logo. And if you want to see more of his work, check out the links in the description. Big thanks. And again, huge thanks to K9 and Solo for coming onto the show.
Thank you.
You guys are awesome. Like, seriously, it's super fun. Wish we could do like more episodes with more community members, but we'll try and do more stuff like this. Micah, am I forgetting anything?
Probably.
Oh, yeah, plug ourselves. That's what I'm forgetting. Hey, you can find Nintendo Pals on any podcast listening app of wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find Nintendo Pals. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. We're on Twitch. We're on Instagram. You can find us. Just search Nintendo Pals. We'll stop. Hold up. Wait a second. Pause. Brand new breaking news from our friend Seth, All In Podcast. Spotify now has 5-star reviews. So, a reminder, leave us a 5-star review. And now hop on over to your Spotify app and leave Nintendo Pals a 5-star review. All right, I started back up the outro music. Really, what was happening there is the outro music was about to end, so I needed an excuse to restart it. I was talking too long. But yeah, you can find us on Twitter at Nintendo Pals. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Nintendo Pals Podcast. And we're on Twitch, Nintendo_Pals. If that's too much to remember, don't worry. We got you covered. Drop down to the description of the show. There are links to all of the stuffs. And follow us on everything. It helps us out so much, and we really appreciate it. It makes us smile. Look at that. Look at that. Genuine smile from Micah. There you go. And with that, we'll give it over to SoloSomething for a closing remark.
Now, they were talking about one of the Discords about Winnie the Pooh outranking Disney this past week and him getting so high up down the list. So I figured I would take a famous quote from Winnie the Pooh, and I figured it's appropriate since we're all hanging out with pals right now and friends, is that bears on tonight that we didn't realize that we were making memories. We were just having fun.
Yes.
I like it.
Y'all have a fantastic rest of your day, week, time, whatever you do. Have a good one.